maybe not even the best UCLA fucking quarterback of all time.
He's not. We all know it's Cade McNown.
Yes, beat that Miami team. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Two Nobodies with a Mic, episode 44, party people. You guys know the deal. We are live on YouTube, and we are an interactive show, so I know Uncle Zero's already out there, giving Uncle Zero a shout-out. First one. We should give a prize for first person that pops up.
Fred's probably thinking, fuck, I make the first one every time.
First one would have been Michelle, actually.
Oh, Michelle. Sorry we don't have your Bengals helmet up, Michelle.
We have him and Rick Flores in here.
Oh, Tricky Rick.
Oh, are they going to battle in the chat?
Oh, yes.
We already said where the drink's at, so it's starting early.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. I like the feistiness of the chat there.
Episode 44. Let's get in. We already introduced every fan that we have, every great fan that we have. But to my right, I got my main man, Rafa the Guru. What's up, Rafa?
What's going on?
He just, on a hurricane-ridden Los Angeles, he made it over here.
Fuck.
Dude, what the fuck?
Where the fuck are people going? Why are you going south? Go the other way. Fuck. Took me forever to get here.
Yes, we have Eddie Money, producer extraordinaire. What's up, Eddie Money?
Let's pop in.
Yay!
Good day today.
Yes.
I saw you lifting and everything.
Yes.
Fuck.
Lifting and came here to the pool.
Look at
a
he's
nice
a
little
fucking.
tan on.
He's our own Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just start walking around with a fucking accent.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes. We should have a raffle. Who wants to see Eddie Money on camera? I don't think we've ever shown. Oh, no.
One time, but they have to find it.
Yes, and it has to deal with the pie in the face. So you really don't get to be seen that much.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest all the way from Long Beach State, home of the dirt bags. We have Luke in the house. Luke, I am not your father. What's up, Luke? Say hello,
What's
everybody.
up, boys? What up? What up?
Yes, Luke gave you that amazing prediction, UFC with Gaethje, and
He's got some for tonight, right?
oh yeah, listen, people, stay tuned. Luke is going to give his UFC picks, and if you guys don't know, he was spot on. Maybe he was a cognig and knew the future. That's my favorite Tom Cruise movie, where the three people that see the future. You never know.
What fucking movie is that?
Are you serious?
Fucking throw the name out there.
I can't think of the fucking name right now. He's a cop in the future.
Oh God.
Yes, and
Total Recall with Schwarzenegger? No, okay.
No, it's one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies. But there's three people and they see the future and there's no more murders.
Minority Report?
Minority Report.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's
one of your favorite Tom Cruise movies?
Yes.
Days of Thunder, Top Gun.
I mean, Minority
Are
Report.
you
I love.
Cold Trickle?
You know why? I know. Let me out of the car, Cole. Let me out of the car. So yes, just because I think, and it has to do with gambling, I think there's three of those people underneath Bellagio just spitting out Ravens 27, Bengals 23. That's what I think. I mean, that's the only excuse I have, Rafa, for Vegas to be spot on with those lines.
Every time. They're professionals.
Yes. Speaking of that, we are the gambling show of record, everybody. We do not hide from the gambling. We talk about the gambling. And but we do have a motto. Do you know the motto, Luke? He does not know the motto.
Don't be a loser.
Don't be a loser, Luke.
Right there.
Okay, this is his first time being a fourth on here. So
Yes. So listen, you're gonna lose bets. That's not what we're talking about. Just play responsibly. Don't be a jackass. Don't be a kicker or a quarterback or a left tackle and bet on your team.
Yeah.
College or pro. So don't be a loser. That's our motto. But let's get into famous 44s. God, such a great number. 44 episodes in a row, everybody.
44 weeks in a row.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? And if you guys don't know, we like to talk about famous athletes. This week it's 44. Great number. Ton of athletes. If you're out there on YouTube, share with us your favorite 44. There's a ton of them. I hope you have some ready, Luke. We'll circle around to you, Eddie Money. You have any famous 44s for us? Oh, Eddie Money's looking up his
Are you
phone.
fucking insane?
Oh no! Someone sent us something on Instagram, but it was actually Luke.
What time did the show start?
Daryl Strawberry.
Ooh, good one.
Bam.
From what high school?
Oh, come on.
Come on, man.
No clue.
Crenshaw High. Crenshaw High. So I'll give you another one if we're going to go baseball. Probably the best 44 in all of baseball. Hammering Hank Aaron, right? The home run leader.
The home run king.
Or was. Or
we know it's Barry Bonds.
yeah,
Sorry.
100%, by the way.
Yeah.
That's my 44, great 44.
I'll go the logo. Jerry West.
Jerry West.
Jerry West, man. There are some goats. There are some goats in the 44 category.
You got somebody?
Luke.
Oh, yeah. Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson, yes.
Mr. October.
Oh, yes.
Mr. October, the great little on ESPN. They're doing this Yankees versus Dodgers.
They're still doing that?
Yeah, I've been watching it, and Reggie was a chap ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a dick.
Great story, great story. But man, he was clutch, and he was a G. Who else?
Rick Flores also said Reggie Jackson.
Okay, Rick, come on, man, pull something out of the bag, Rick.
Uncle Zero said John Riggins.
John Riggins, yes, the original white running back.
The only white running back.
Well, Larry Zonka, more of a fullback. CMC.
I'll also go George Gervin.
George, the
Iceman.
Iceman. Great 44.
The Iceman.
The finger roll, right? He was too cool to dunk.
I'm going to go Jim Brown at the University of Syracuse.
Wow. That's a great one.
That was
Because I think, didn't another Ernie Banks
No,
or
Ernie Davis.
Ernie Davis. Did he also wear 44 at Syracuse?
At Syracuse.
Yeah. Great 44, Rafa. Damn. I'm going to say Pistol Pete Maravich.
Zach said that a couple seconds before. You said
Oh,
look
Zach.
at Zach.
Got credit.
this time he's actually here on time to give us for his numbers.
Zach's been drinking all week, so I think he's still drinking. He hasn't stopped.
Surprised you didn't think we're on episode 45.
Yes. Dave Casper.
Dick LeBeau.
Is it?
It popped up.
Dick LeBeau.
Okay, Dick
Dick
LeBeau.
Who else?
Dave Casper was 87.
87. Where did I get that?
I don't know, but I'll give you a Raider that did wear 44.
Here we go.
Marv Hubbard. He was a fullback, but the fifth leading rusher in Raiders history.
Wow.
The fifth. That shows you how shit your franchise is. When that guy
Here we
who's
go.
a fullback was your fifth.
It was in
all-time
the
rusher.
60s, Rafa.
Fucking A. Anybody? Is that it for 44?
How about Willie McCovey? McCovey Cove, man.
Cove.
He has a whole ocean.
He's got a whole bay there.
Uncle Zero also said Hank Gathers.
Great 44.
Look at Uncle Zero
LMU.
came to play.
Getting some zingers today.
Man, Uncle Zero, great pool.
See what happens when Uncle Zero's on time?
Yeah, see, fuck, we need you, Uncle Zero. We have an extra mic. Make it down here. We have 2 hours, Uncle Zero. Who else? Paul Goldschmidt?
Goldie wears 44
Yeah.
still?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Underrated.
Shanae came in with Rick Fox.
Wow, that's
Jesus
a Jaybird.
Christ.
Did he always wear 44?
No, he wore 17 on
did.
the Lakers.
And 44 with the Celtics?
Yeah, he could have worn 44 with the Celtics, but 17 on the Lakers for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Leave it to my wife to know Rick Fox's fucking number. Fucking
Jesus.
Yeah. I hate Rick Fox now. Hate him. I'll give another Syracuse, one of my favorite Syracuse basketball players of all time, Derek Coleman.
DC.
DC. Great college player. 6'10", with an attitude, played with Ronnie Cycli, played in those great Jimmy Boeheim teams in Syracuse. Shit. David Cohn?
Really? On what team?
The Mets?
44? Could be. You could be right. You could be right.
Dallas Clark.
Dallas
Oh,
Clark.
that's a good one.
Colts, right?
Yeah.
Tight end.
You know what? The trip, I looked it up. Not a lot of NFL. I thought there would be a ton of NFL.
That's kind of an ugly
Oh,
number.
It's a fullback number.
He also said Derek Watt. That was what he said on Instagram.
Wow, Derek Watt.
The best of the butt.
Yes, the runt of the litter.
Uncle Zero also said Brian Bosworth Sooners.
Ooh.
And Ralphie said Rizzo.
Anthony Rizzo.
Anthony Rizzo, great 44. Bosworth, that's when Bosworth was the man.
That's when he was Boz.
Yeah. And then you're right. That's why there's not a lot of good 44s in the NFL because they had to be in that running back
Position.
running back or DB, but linebackers had to be 50 and up.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Now they all wear
Zach also
fucking
said Marlon
6.
Humphrey.
0.
Marlon Humphrey.
I didn't realize there were so
Yeah.
many 44s.
Yeah, 44 is a cool number.
Sounds like too many turds towards the end there.
That's a great 44. Good number. But now let's get into our favorite segment. Well, our second favorite segment. Brought to you by Julio's Pizza, which we had today. A lot of new goers had the Al Pastor pizza, and it was incredible. But thank you to Julio's Pizza for sponsoring You're Fired. Right there off of Pioneer in Artesia / Cerritos. Go check out Julio's Pizza, the best thin crust pizza in Southern California, hands down. And it's a full bar, awesome drinks. We were gonna go today, but traffic was a bear.
Brutal.
A bear. But thank you to Julio's. Now let's get into Your Fired. If you don't know how to play, and you could also tell us who you want to fire. It's just an imaginary firing. Don't worry, you're not gonna ruin anyone's life. But who wants to start with You're Fired? Luke?
Go ahead, Luke. Luke's excited for his.
Yeah.
The Jets O-line.
Whoa, that's a good one. Mekhi Becton. So we're going to get into that. If you guys aren't watching Hard Knocks,
I'm out of the shot for a second.
we were all living off this hype of the Jets, right? I bought in. I'm thinking division winner. Aaron Rodgers doing this and that. And if you guys didn't see, they played Tampa in those the
Like a scrimmage?
the cross scrimmage,
Oh,
whatever.
the cross
It
practices?
was the Panthers, I thought.
No. This week it was Tampa Bay, and out of 10 plays, they said that he got sacked 6 times.
Wow.
6 times out of 10, and he's already come out. He's made an issue, and it's not looking very good for them. Who else wants to start?
What do you got, Eddie Money?
I'm going to fire all the people overreacting to these top rookies in their preseason games, their preseason starts. This week, I think Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson all had bad outings, and everybody's kind of dogging them. But I like to give last year's best example was Jamar Chase. He dropped 4 balls on 5 targets, and he went out to be
Yeah, it's a receiver,
amazing.
though. You're comparing receivers and quarterbacks because your boy from the Raiders looked good.
Oh, I don't want to hear that shit.
To be fair,
the future.
all the rookies I'm talking about only played like a drive, maybe 2. Aiden O'Connell played a lot of that game.
He looked good a lot of the
did,
game.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good. Listen, I watched it 5 times, right? I did. I watched it 5 times. I was looking for holes. I don't want to believe it. I'm not going to believe it. I didn't like the draft pick. He's going to have to do something special to win me over because I am not buying the Aiden O'Connell fucking hype.
All right.
And stop it with the Instagram. Every Instagram.
He'll be starting by week 5.
Oh, God.
He'll be starting by week 5. When
Not
the Raiders are 0-4,
Not a chance.
0-4 with losses to the Patriots and Steelers and shit.
Hey, Jimmy G looks really nice in a Raiders uniform. They upgraded his strip a little more. They got him a nice little helmet with a different face mask, a
Really?
for
little
him.
visor. Looks a lot better.
I mean, how do you look fucking bad in a Raider uniform?
Well, there's a lot of people who.
You could play bad.
Hey, not the guy right next to you though.
Yeah. Oh, hey. I forgot I had one on. So, that's 2 good firings.
I'm gonna fire this. No, we don't know him. I don't even fucking know him. Guy walks into my office this morning, asks for directions. Older man asks for directions and says, "Oh, do you have a restroom? Yeah, right there." Walks to use the restroom, doesn't close the door. It's just taking a piss.
Get
I swear to God, didn't even turn on the light.
man.
Didn't even just walked in, doors open, taking a piss.
Like you can't do that on the sidewalk, like on.
Bro, like, are you kidding? I think he knew that where he was going. He just fucking like
That
these people
is-
gotta have a restroom.
that's a
Walked right in there, buddy. Can I use restroom? Yeah, right there.
man.
Boom.
That is
Door
fucking crazy.
completely open, bro. Completely open.
Maybe your place is just so comfortable that he feels at home.
I'm gonna read the future here, and I foresee a sign: restroom only available to customers in the near future at customcars.com.
Oh, man. Dude, that was wild.
That's crazy.
Dude, I swear, I thought he was washing his hands. And then guy who works with me, he goes, dude, he's taking a piss.
And he just walked right back out.
Just walked right out. Okay, thank you. Walked right out. He asked for directions as soon as he walked in, which was a bullshit directions. Where's this street? Oh, it's right there. Da, da, da. Okay, you have bathroom? Boom.
Wow.
Door open.
I could see if you had to, drop a deuce, but you can take a piss anywhere.
That's true.
This is Los Angeles. Homeless people do it everywhere on the streets.
And never get in trouble.
No. So that's a crazy story, Rafa. I don't know if you guys remember my firing of last week, but I fired the San Diego Padres, having the third highest payroll, right, in baseball. Fired Bob Melvin, the GM, for not firing the
manager.
Yeah, manager. So listen, we are a West Coast show, but I don't want to be biased. I don't want him to be biased.
Tough.
Let's fire the number 2 highest payroll in Major League Baseball, $267 million, in last place in the AL East. The record is 60-61. The New York Yankees, the Bronx Bombers, man. And I picked, this is the funny part, Rafa, if you guys go back in the archives.
Oh, we remember.
I picked Yankees versus Padres in the fucking World Series.
Immediately went on their under for the
Eddie
season.
curse is alive.
Mushed the shit out of those
Both
teams.
teams.
Yeah.
We're not even going to win 80 games because Eddie took us.
Brian Cashman, GM, at one point was considered, a genius, and he had brought, did he get Boston their championship?
No. You're thinking of Theo Epstein.
Yeah, Theo Epstein, yes. But Cashman also, young dude, right? Very young, got the job as a GM, very young. And
it was easy to be a GM when he started. Steinbrenner just said, fucking get everybody. I mean, you weren't making, look at the deals he's made since.
Yeah, they're the only one that had their own network at that time.
Right.
Yeah. So, but listen, I think that roster is going to be flipped. I think Aaron Boone is not going to be there. I'm not sure if Cashman is going to be there. But I think, everyone, I know this is a hypothetical firing, but I might be spot on this one. Yes, I don't wish for anyone to lose their job, but they definitely deserve to lose their job. And, they've had some injuries, right? But I looked at the pitchers. I think Garrett Cole has 10 wins. The next pitcher,
he's pitching well. Everyone
he
else
is pitching well.
Yeah,
he is pitching well. And then the next pitcher has 8 wins, and then not another starter for the Yankees has more than 5 wins, which that's just kind of crazy. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I know there's a certain free agent in Anaheim that dude, I would break the bank for him, Rafa. I would.
Everybody would. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later, but that's who I'm firing. I'm firing the Yankees.
Yankees down 7-1, top of the 8th to the Red Sox.
Nice.
When's the last time we've seen the Yankees be this bad?
Oh, it's a handful
I mean,
of years.
last place, bottom of the barrel.
Jeter's last year. They were pretty bad that year.
Yeah.
Turd.
Pretty bad.
Zach has a firing. He's firing Rafa for giving in, joining a fantasy league.
Oh, I made him do that.
I will rebuttal and promote Rafa for joining our fantasy league.
I was duped into it.
I made him. I said, you cannot be a part of this show anymore if you do not join our Two Nobodies Fantasy League. We have some really good prizes and some really good punishments.
Oh, the punishment is brutal. We will not announce it here.
We will not announce it. Not yet. Maybe
I don't know. Maybe ever.
No, you can
maybe
never
not
say
ever.
it.
Yeah, but yeah,
It's pretty bad.
So yeah, Zach, come on, Zach. I mean, Zach is very like when he buys a stock, he holds on to it forever, no matter what. When he like buys into something or if he does something, he's like, nope, that's it. I said I was gonna do this. Ton of discipline for Zach.
That's good for him.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good for him. He's still a Raider fan somehow.
Yeah.
Because that's where it started.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Started from birth.
Yeah, when you're born into that and the shit is just, it's never here. It's always just.
You don't gotta tell me. I haven't seen him.
Doesn't matter.
I've only seen him in the playoffs once. So.
Yeah.
And it was short. It was short.
It was short-lived.
Could have been our year.
Yeah, that sucks. But that is your fired. Any other firings out there in Fantasyland, YouTube land?
It was just Zach.
Just Zach Elias. All right. Well, as we're puffing on our cigars, drinking some Silver Oak, Rafa's still chugging on the water.
Still, yes.
Let's get into our favorite segment, right? Which is
NFL.
NFL breakdown. This is for us. This is official week 1 for NFL. We are declaring that we are NFL season ready.
Oh,
we,
for sure.
We have a
We start
bunch of
today.
news. We start today, and if you guys have been watching, we have broke down top 5 at every position, starting on defense, going to offense, and we saved quarterbacks for last. So listen, I hope there's no fights. Sonny, if you're here, this guy comes over the table. You better jump in because there's gonna be some debates here. And go ahead, give us your top 5 QBs out there. But who? I feel like Rafa and I should be last.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Okay.
Luke,
I'll go first.
okay, Luke, go ahead.
All right, so honorable mention, I got like a tie between Johnny Unitas and Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Number 5,
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Number 5, Aaron Rodgers. If he wins the Super Bowl, he's cracking top 3.
Who
with the
just?
Jets.
Someone just said
Okay.
today or yesterday that Aaron Rodgers.
We're already getting hot.
Hold the fucking.
Someone just came out today and said that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time. He's
That was all
that
right.
was a-
I saw that.
Arian Foster.
Yeah.
And there's a lot now. There's a lot of people that say that, and I think if you look at the body of work, like as far as his talent, should be the best. Could be the best
He's
ever.
the most talented
Oh,
quarterback of all time.
obviously.
No doubt.
I think so.
Just what he does on his feet, how he throws the ball, how he picks up the grass.
I go ahead. Let's go on. Proceed with your
All right,
list.
number 4, John Elway. Just simple top 5 quarterback right there.
Listen, you get no arguments here,
Yeah.
Papa, with that.
I got a little bit. Go ahead.
Number 3, Montana. I got Montana.
Wow. Upset special.
Wow.
I'm
Who
just
is
kidding.
your number 2?
Luke, I'm just giving you a warning. If you see,
Who is your number 2?
if you see Patrick Mahomes, I might
At number
kick
2?
you out.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Patrick Mahomes
No,
is
no,
on my
no.
list, just so you know.
No, he's not on my
surprised.
list.
I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
the,
not-
the second coming.
Who's number 2?
Dan Marino. Dan Marino.
Ah,
Yeah.
You're-
Marino's
it.
the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. If you flip Marino and Elway, I think people
He's-
look at Marino in a whole different light, and they look at Elway.
dude, I struggled. I'll tell you when.
All right,
okay. Go ahead.
And then
number one, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
the GOAT.
Eddie Money. Go ahead, Eddie Money.
All right, number 5, I have Dan Marino.
Okay.
Number 4, I have Johnny Unitas. Number 3, Peyton Manning. Number 2, Joe Montana. And number 1, Tom Brady.
I have a similar list, kind of.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. I'll go first. I'll go
okay,
first.
Okay.
I struggled with my list because
It's hard. It's difficult.
It was a tough list. It was very tough.
yeah, like so I went overall, right? Obviously, you know, Marino for his time was amazing. No doubt about it.
Well, no, hold on. I hate to
said you're
interrupt you.
leaving
It's your
Marino
list, but you said in his time.
100% in his time. His accolades are not even close to my guys in the top 5.
Okay.
Not even close.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm letting you know. Bring it.
Okay. So I just lost my train. Go ahead. Start over again.
All right. So my honorable mentions are Dan Marino and John Elway.
Oh,
Those are my honorable mentions.
yucky poo poo caca.
I'm gonna read you John Elway's numbers.
Okay.
He won a Super Bowl twice. He was an MVP once. He was only an All-Pro 3 times. By the way, never a first-team All-Pro. Never. Not once. He never led the league in passing. That's a guy you're going to put in the top 5? Are you kidding? Here's my number 5. My 5 is Aaron Rodgers. Super Bowl champ, 4-time first-team All-Pro, 4-time MVP. MVP,
Back to
the
back.
most valuable motherfucker in the league.
Yeah.
4 times. All right? All-decade team, of course, but all these guys have been all-decade. My number 4 is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
I hate you.
That's fine, but he hasn't turned 28 yet. He'll be 28 in a couple weeks. 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time league MVP. Most career, he has the best passer rating in the postseason history. Okay, in history, and he averages 38 touchdown passes a season. By the way,
In this era.
in this era,
He's
he's
offensive
phenomenal. He's phenomenal. You cannot say, and he's 27.
You know my
he's
argument.
going to be 28.
He's a system quarterback under under Andy Reid.
Anyways, my number 3 is Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Peyton Manning, you know the act. 10-time All-Pro, 14-time Pro Bowler, all-time lead. Holds the record single season, 55 touchdown passes. The records were there. Brady took them and Breeze afterwards. But my number 2 is obviously Joe Montana, 4-time Super Bowl champ, 3-time Super Bowl MVP, and then Tom Brady, 7-time world champion, and a 5-time Super Bowl MVP,
Yes.
as well as a league MVP as well. But those guys, Elway never won one. He never won a league MVP. He never led the league in
Man,
passing.
I'm trying to think. Joe Montana in that era. Who else?
Dude, he wasn't even first team All-Pro.
But you got to think about, do they change the game? So, like, at the time, Marino was changing the game. Like, what Marino was doing, you watch any documentary, you watch his highlights. Like, he changed the game.
I think he's amazing. But
But not to be in your top 5?
No.
That's crazy.
because I believe that Patrick Mahomes, when it's all said and done, he will be put it this way, if Mahomes has 4 Super Bowls,
You put him as a GOAT?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, because of what you see, what he does on the field. Last year, he loses his number 1 receiver. He still wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
His defenses usually aren't very good. This year, he had one guy stand out on defense. Bro, how many points did they allow in the Super Bowl? 30-something points. He still won the fucking game.
I mean, Mahomes' year this year was
fucking
ridiculous.
Jags almost fucking beat him in the AFC. Almost
beat him. The
Almost
Bills
made-
almost
almost
beat
means a
him.
loss.
The Raiders almost went to the Super Bowl and beat Brady. The Raiders almost had
Well,
a
you're
lineman.
talking about his career and him being, if he almost wins more and more
Bro,
and more.
I'm just telling you, he already has 2. He already has he's number 1 in passer rating in the playoffs. He's amazing.
Well,
There's just no doubt about it.
I'm going to say a stat that no one's heard of, and I'll give you my top 5. All right? This was very difficult for me. Honorable mention, Aaron Rodgers. Okay? That's my honorable mention. Let's go number 5, Dan Marino, the purest passer, I think, of all time. And here's a stat that you don't hear, and I was kind of shocked to see it, but Marino has the record for the lowest sack percentage of any quarterback of all time.
3%.
Oh, I guess you've heard it. And in 1988, he broke a record that's never been broken. 1% sack percentage. And listen, if you guys know in that era, Dan Marino was not a dink and dunker.
No.
He was throw it down the field, 15-yard digs, and we have still never seen a release. I'm sorry, not Mahomes, not even Elway, but he had the quickest release of any quarterback, and that's why he's my number 5, purest passer. He had just the right amount of asshole in him, right? And he did have good old lines.
I like Dan. Trust me, I wanted to put him in there.
Yes.
But for me, Rodgers is more accomplished guy.
Yeah. So
That's just my opinion.
my number 4, Peyton Manning, 18 seasons, 2 Super Bowls, and you didn't say this. He's a 5-time NFL MVP.
Oh, that's right. And I did have that down. But he did 5 times.
That
by the
right
way.
there is kind of silly that I don't have him higher.
that's pretty
5-time.
wild.
That is wild. 5-time NFL.
Rodgers is 4, and you don't have him.
Yeah.
On the list.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, good
it's
point.
right there.
Good point. But, getting back to your thing, Peyton Manning had a rough rookie season, threw a shitload of interceptions. So
Led the league.
yeah.
Well, and he had a rough go
Still holds the record, right?
for most interceptions of the
Was it
season.
17?
think so.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
17?
Oh, I thought
and
it
that
was like
team was
20.
garbage.
No, he hit like over 20.
Oh, over
Yeah,
20.
yeah,
I thought it was
20
like
for sure.
23
Yeah.
or
Really?
26. It was like a big number.
And that team,
Dak throws 17.
in the first half. That team was garbage. He hung in there and brought them to a prominent. I mean, if it wasn't for Tom Brady and the Patriots, I
Oh,
mean,
he would
that,
have.
Yeah.
He would have 5 Super Bowls.
Yes.
He would be the one with 7.
Yes.
Yeah, or at least 5.
Yeah. So that's my number 4. Number 3, out of Granada Hills, the Highlander,
John Elway.
Stanford University, John Elway. And maybe in my mind, I watched him as a kid just destroy the Raiders over and over again. When it was 3rd and 17 with John Elway, I would say, fuck. Here we go.
You have the same feeling with Mahomes, right? Yes or no?
A little bit.
Yes or no?
A
3rd
little
and
bit.
27?
Third and 12, he's going to get it with his feet. He's going to get it with his
Ask
feet.
Denver how they feel at 3rd and 27 on Monday Night Football.
So that's my number 3. Number 4, Joe Montana.
Number 2.
2, Joe Montana, 4-0, undefeated in the Super Bowl, 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just Joe Cool. And he's also a two-time NFL MVP overall. And, of course, Tom's numbers, I don't think Patrick will ever surpass. But I did see something, Rafa, and I had too much pride to send it to you. Because the numbers are shocking. And I hope you don't find it, Eddie. I hope you don't
Fucking
find it.
look it up.
But it is Tom Brady right next to Patrick Mahomes in their first whatever.
Oh, Mahomes' numbers are better. We know that.
They're like ridiculously better than Tom Brady's.
Yeah.
And but let's talk about it. Tom Brady, 649 TDs, holds the record, 251 wins, holds that record, 7 Super Bowls, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time NFL MVP. I mean, the numbers are just gaudy, ridiculous. And although, like I said, Patrick has a long, long way to go.
I don't know if a long
Another whole, Patrick's been in the league 8.
He's been in the
7
years.
years?
He's played 5 full seasons.
Okay, well, he needs at least another 5.
Right, but if he in another 5, if he wins another 2 MVPs and another 2 Super Bowls, that puts him at 4 MVPs.
Yeah, he just has 3 Super Bowls to go. Listen, that's I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys have your list. Who did we leave out?
Zach has his list.
Zach.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it, Zacharias.
Starting from the bottom at 5.
Rich Gannon.
He has Aaron Rodgers,
All right.
Dan Marino at 4, Mahomes at 3,
Look at that.
What the fruit?
Montana at 2, and Brady at 1.
Bro, the what Mahomes does, I know you hate him and his wife and his brother and his helmet and the way he talks.
I'm here.
You can hate all of that.
All of those are facts.
You can hate all of that. You cannot hate the man when he's on that field between those sidelines. He's amazing,
Listen,
and he amazes you every week.
he's very, very good. But about,
Clip all of that.
A month ago, 3 a.m, I couldn't sleep, and I put on NFL Network, and it was Raiders v Chiefs when Alex Smith was the starting quarterback, and Pat is right there. Pat is doing the clipboard thing at timeouts. I'm like, look at this crazy shit. It was fun to watch.
He's a rookie.
Just to watch him, But Alex Smith was doing this crazy. I mean, he looked like Patrick Mahomes.
Are you out of your mind? In Mahomes' first full season, he threw 50 fucking touchdowns.
That's not impressive though anymore.
Are you kidding? 50?
No one touches 50.
Dude,
Dan Marino did it in 82
Guess what?
and threw 48.
Dude, there's 3 guys that have thrown.
48.
There's 3 dudes that have thrown 50. Two of the
Tom
3,
Brady.
and Peyton Manning.
Did
Nope.
Drew Brees didn't do it?
No.
To say it's not impressive, though, Eddie.
Are you
Okay,
kidding?
okay. I might
50
be
touchdowns.
exaggerating.
Dude, the only season that he's played that he's thrown less than 30 was the season that he played 14 games, which was in 2019. He's thrown 50, 26, 38, 40.
I mean, to be a starting quarterback in the NFL now, if you don't throw 30 touchdowns, you suck.
Are you kidding? There's 50 guys. There's 20 guys last season that didn't throw 30.
Yeah, they suck.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I mean-
Jalen Hurts didn't throw 30.
No, but he's
probably
fucking
rushed for
scored.
like 12,
yeah,
though.
more than 12. He had like 18.
But he didn't throw for 30.
He didn't. That's not their offense.
Rodgers probably didn't even throw for 30 last year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Listen, yeah.
Don't downplay how good Mahomes is.
There's no denying the body of work. I think it's early to put him in the top 5.
He's already guys, his achievement, his regular season accolades already have surpassed John Elway. 2 Super Bowl MVPs, first team All-Pro, 50 touchdown passes. Are you kidding? Are we out of our minds?
I hated John Elway because obviously I was a Raider fan. Hated John Elway. But his 30-yard laser beams in the corner of the end zone, his arm was so impressive. There's stories about him breaking guys' fingers. He
had all the arm strength in the world, but he only threw 300 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
so he threw 300 touchdown passes.
I wish I could say it's because he had good running backs, but
he didn't.
He didn't have good running backs.
He didn't.
Notoriously never had good running backs.
He was never the best player in the league. And you put him in your top 5. Fuck, you put him in the top 3. He was never the best player in the league. At any point in his career, he was never number 1. It was Dan Marino or Joe Montana. He was never. And then when Steve Young started playing, guess who won the MVP of the regular season? Steve Young.
Well, here's the thing with MVP. How often do you win MVP if you're not a top 3 team?
And Aaron Rodgers has won 4. And he's been to one Super Bowl?
But they were always an NFC championship. I mean,
dude, how many times this guy choked away in the AFC title game?
Who?
Elway.
John Elway? I mean, he also won some, but they were not a very good team. Denver Broncos weren't great. And that's also Dan Marino's thing. They were never
Peyton Manning's
great.
teams weren't great either.
They became great. He had some really
bad
good teams.
And he had some really bad defenses.
Oh, God, yes. Dwight Freeney.
Really? Well, they had players.
5'8", freaking...
They had Freeney and Mathis and Bob Sanders.
That
was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And a young Bob Sanders.
Yep.
And that was it. I mean, for me, when I went through it, I had an idea in my head who my top 5 were. I thought, okay, Marino, Elway, Peyton, Montana, Brady. Those are my 5 guys.
Yeah.
And then when you start looking at, like, hold the fuck on. This guy didn't even get on a first-team All-Pro in the 80s? Bro, when nobody was throwing the ball? Are you kidding?
It seems hard to believe, but I looked it up, and
he was a 3-time All-Pro.
Yeah,
and it was second team.
9-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, everybody's a Pro Bowler.
Everyone makes the Pro
Derek
Bowl.
Carr made the Pro Bowl a couple times.
But back then, guys like wanted
I
to
think
go
it
to
was
Hawaii.
different. I think it was different back then. You're right.
Now no one wants to go to the Pro Bowl.
Now it's like you can get in if you want.
Yeah.
Michael Brown said it's a long way from Mahomes. He said Elway way better than Steve Young. Come on, my God, Rafa.
Are you kidding? Stop being a homer for once. Stop being a fucking homer.
You know what?
And then he goes, Broncos slander, the topic of tonight, or what?
Literally, you're being a total... Listen, John Elway's... I thought when I saw it, and then I said, let me look at this guy's numbers. Let me look at this dude. Let me look at this guy. He's not a top 5 cat.
For like 3 or 4 years, Steve Young was like the best player in the NFL.
92 to 95, Steve Young was the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he was great.
Guess when Denver won their Super Bowls? 97, 98.
When
everyone was done.
And that's when they got a good running back and a defense.
Well, and everybody stopped playing.
They didn't win because of John Elway. He was a more of a manager when he won.
He won 1 Super Bowl MVP, and then I think the other one was TD maybe.
Yeah. So I get it. You know, it's an eye test thing for me. It's a Elway was a thorn in my side, and I just view him. I just like his physical skills and his arm strength were just like crazy.
I agree. I think the Elway take though is like a Charles Barkley type of deal. Like I got to put Charles Barkley as a top 10 player in the league, or top 10 or a top 3 power forward in the league because you watched him play at that time. There's fucking guys that are way better now if we're looking at the talent. Well, I'm sorry.
And you know, Chuck was a novelty too, because Chuck he's maybe 6'4".
Yeah,
maybe
but
6'4".
If you watch basketball in his era, you're like, oh my God, there's nobody better. Dude, there's like 100 power forwards that are better than him now. That are better now than he was back then.
Yeah.
It's just a different game. I feel it's the same way when we're comparing Elway to fucking Mahomes. Like, there should be no comparison.
So, Michael Brown, what's your top 5 then?
Oh, his is Elway, Joe Montana, Brady.
And Russell Wilson. Freaking God.
Rick Flores also said, Tom Flores changed the game, Rafa. He brought all the Raza to follow the Raiders.
Tommy Flores. Shout out to Tom Flores. First Hispanic to be a quarterback. First Hispanic to win a Super Bowl. First Hispanic to win, to be a head coach. Tom,
a lot of things.
A lot of things. Raiders are known for being trailblazers. They did a lot of firsts. And
They look like the Portland Trail
Jim
Blazers.
Plunkett, also Hispanic. And Jim Plunkett won one, too.
Yeah.
Both
There's a lot of guys. Eli won, too. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, Eli wasn't the... Although he had some... He wasn't the catalyst.
He made plays.
He made some plays. But it's kind of crazy.
Does Michael have his top 5?
No, I'm waiting on it.
Come on, MB. Yeah, he's looking at all Bronco quarterbacks.
He's like, look at this video of Elway.
Yeah.
Mia, you think he's not good?
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Here we go.
He goes Manning, Marino, Elway, Montana, Brady.
I'm
That's
so
your
shocked
list.
because he loved Manning. I'm shocked.
Oh, I love Peyton Manning as well. I
Yeah.
thought before Brady won, Super Bowl 4 or 5 or whatever, I still thought Peyton Manning was better than him.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, put him down in the chats. That's going to be debated forever. I hope no one, the thing that's debatable is that Aaron Rodgers won. You cannot debate as of right now the GOAT. You cannot debate.
no, I don't think there's no debate yet.
Yes.
But I think when a guy starts sniffing 4,
Man,
then it's a debate.
I'm going to start practicing Santeria and cutting chickens' heads off with Mahomes'
With
jersey.
Mahomes jerseys.
Man, he is great. He's so good. And you know what? He's a good dad. He's a good husband. He's a good teammate. It's just, there's so many things that I'm annoyed by. And I do think you put Patrick Mahomes with the Carolina Panthers, with,
Well, I don't even. You can't. How the fuck you keep coming back to that?
I think
argument?
Andy Reid is a genius.
I don't think I've heard the argument for
We
any
can't-
other
we can't
quarterback.
keep doing this.
Especially in the red zone.
He's so good in the red zone. He won how many Super Bowls before Patrick Mahomes? That is the key.
Well, his best quarterback was Donovan McNabb.
Donovan McNabb was no turd.
He wasn't a turd, but I mean,
Are you kidding?
He's a dog.
McNabb was a beast.
yeah, I guess.
Probably look at his numbers. Probably got better numbers than Elway. Shit. Fucking 300
I
touchdown
was never a
passes.
fan of McNabb. Never a fan.
I liked him. I had a jersey.
Yeah,
I liked McNabb.
Never a fan. I don't know what it was. I don't
He
know.
reminded me a lot of Elway. Getting out of the pocket.
He did have a strong
cannon
arm.
arm.
He did have a
Oh,
strong
cannon arm.
Yeah, and he did puke live on television.
Played through injuries.
Didn't he also win the Super Bowl on like a broken leg?
He never won. He played it.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers also played with a torn ACL in a title game.
So listen, that is our top 5 quarterbacks of all time. That concludes our top 5, all positions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We got a lot of interaction. Everyone, this one guy keeps on bringing TJ Watt up and everything. What about TJ Watt? It's like, dude, we're not even fucking talking about fucking defensive ends. Are you saying TJ Watt is like, dude, first of all, he's hurt all the fucking time. He got all butthurt about the...
He's still top 10, right, in their list?
No.
TJ wasn't top 10 in the...
No.
They put him
No.
at 25 this year.
Yeah.
TJ Watt at 25? Yeah, he's got to play more
He
games.
missed 9 games.
He has
That's
to
why.
play more
Wow.
games.
Yeah, you got to play
You know?
at least fucking
The year
14.
before-
Still, half
he
the
was
season, you're
third.
still at 25. Still pretty good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
no,
I
he.
guess you're right.
Listen, he gets to the quarterback, a lot of times.
He's going to put fucking Jimmy G down for a couple.
I can't wait.
For a couple. How bad was Ezekiel Elliott signing by the Patriots, by the way?
Oh
Terrible.
man.
So trash.
So I saw another thing on Instagram. It showed all of the Patriots' offensive weapons, and they're like trying to brag about them. Worst receiver core
Oh,
in
trash.
the NFL, and it's not even fucking close.
No, they're bad.
No, I think the Houston's have the worst.
Oh,
Dude,
maybe-
the Texans
No.
at least have Mechie that's going. That's
Mechie,
going to play.
and
They have
Yeah, they
upside.
have upside.
They have that huge kid that's 6'4", who actually did some.
Nico Collins?
Nico Collins from Michigan. Kid is a monster. Nico Collins is going to do things. And Mechie, I think he's going to do things. I think by far, the Patriots, and I've said this, everyone who asks me, who thinks I know anything about anything, you know, we're going to get, we are the gambling show of record. We are going to give picks out on a weekly basis. We're going to go later into, divisions.
We have picks tonight.
We have picks tonight, but my pick, and I don't blue chip. Go ahead, ring the bell, Rafa. My blue chip for the year, and I don't give blue chips because Rafa's the guru, and I just nod in my head. take the under on every fucking Patriots game this year, and you can
That offense
clip that shit.
That offense looks bad.
And they did bring in Bill O'Brien. That is going to help. I think I like Bill O'Brien, always have. He did wonders at Alabama, and that's going to help the offense. But you have, I mean, I like Zappy Hour, you know.
More than Brown?
Yes.
Mac Jones.
Than Mac Jones?
Yes, I think he's more athletic. If I was, and you know, Belichick doesn't give a shit where you're drafted. He's going to start the best quarterback.
All right, let's hope. We got his RPA 2 out of 5.
Yes. Have they mentioned a starter yet I'm
I'm assuming it's Mac Jones.
No, it's Mac Jones.
Is it Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I think that is the most horrific offense
Well,
in
since
the
you're
NFL.
talking Patriots, shall we get into the AFC East or?
Let's break down our first division. We're going to go win totals. We're going to go odds to win the division.
Let's do the Jets first because there's news on the Jets
Let's-
and the Hard Knocks.
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead, Eddie Money. What's the news?
So the Jets just recently they signed Dalvin Cook, 1 year up to $8.6 million. And apparently, I was talking with Luke before. He said Dalvin was either going to go to the Patriots or the Jets. I guess the Patriots took their pick with Zeke.
Wow, so they actually, they're probably paying Zeke like $2 million.
$6 million.
What?
No, up to $6 million.
Up to $6
Oh,
million.
okay, there's incentives.
Yeah, they'll bench his. He's gonna play fucking
He'll play 10 games.
Did you
if that,
Did
and
you,
maybe run the ball 8 times a game.
Did you see he cut his hair?
Zeke?
Yeah, he
No.
Different man.
Yeah, he looks
He
like
got signed, then he posted him a new haircut.
yeah, he looks like like an adult. But that is these you had a good quote earlier, Eddie. We were talking about Zeke and how his job changed. He had a shitload of touchdowns last year. But you think about their running backs. We have Stevenson, now Zeke. Those guys are the same guy. They're not speed backs. You think Stevenson's a speed guy?
He's not a speed guy, but I don't think he's the same as Zeke right now. Zeke's like a red zone, just punch it in. Stevenson
Yeah.
can at least catch the ball. I say he more similar to Zeke in his prime, maybe.
My point is, like, if you were to do a combine, I bet their numbers would be very, very similar. Like size,
Maybe.
speed.
Zeke's on the way out, guys. This is
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah.
This is maybe a veteran guy who can maybe guide the dude, and that's it. That's why the Patriots know what they have, right? They're not going to pay Cook $7-8 million. They're not. It's a waste.
Especially when they already have Stevenson, who could realistically take. He should be a 3-down back by himself.
Yeah. So, Jets, right? Jets are on Hard Knocks. First 2 episodes, I swallowed the Kool-Aid. I was all in. The show's great, but it has already been revealed. And if you remember last year, the Jets were good. Defensively, they had some flashes offense, but their Achilles heel was their offensive line.
And their quarterback.
Yes. But again, Achilles heel, it's been awful. And Robert Saleh had a team meeting, called out the offensive line, said, "You guys, we're going to be the same team if this unit," and it gets shown all over national TV or whatever.
Oh yeah, that meeting was a little crazy. He said literally
Yeah.
everyone did good besides offensive line.
Good for him. He's got to tell them the
damn.
truth.
Yeah.
Not going to be like the Redskins over there crying to the media because
Yeah, no, that's true. And then Aaron Rodgers, who has been amazing. Like, if Aaron Rodgers has done a 180 media campaign, he has fixed his image. They asked him, and he's like, "Listen, guys, we've had some struggles." He said all the right things. We've had some struggles. We just need continuity on the show. Yeah, if you guys remember the left tackle, Mekhi Becton, the monstrous tackle from Louisville. Huge. Like,
He towered over Rodgers.
yeah, he towered over Rodgers, and Rodgers is doing all the right things. He's like, "Dude, let's go have lunch. Let's go have dinner."
Yeah.
And, like, Rodgers is doing everything possible. He's doing all the right things, but this team is not going to do anything. Defense is incredible. Quinn Williams, in one show, he had 11 sacks.
Yeah, by the way, feel sorry for Bryce this year.
Oh, dude. Yeah, he's going to get crushed. But everyone's great. I mean, they have the middle linebacker stud, forget his name. You have
CJ Mosley.
CJ Mosley. You have the best corner in football. You have the Sauce Gardner's not the best corner in football?
I don't think so.
He's top five.
PPF? PPF, who's better? It was Sauce.
I don't care. I would not put him as the best corner in football though.
Who's the best
Who
corner?
would you put? Who would you put?
Oh, that's
It's you tell me, Papa. If you're gonna call me out, then call me out. Because PPF, Pro Football Player Focus, right? They have him graded as the number 1, I believe.
I thought he was third. I thought they gave it to
Fuck, I'm probably wrong now.
what's his
Oh, wouldn't shock. No shocker.
He's definitely up there, no doubt. But I don't
so
think he's number
PFF
one.
did give him number 1. They gave Ramsey number 2 and Darius Slay number 3.
Okay, so he's the best cornerback in fucking football. Who are you gonna say, Eddie Money?
I don't know. I still like.
You can't
I
say
still
Darius.
like Lattimore.
Oh,
okay.
he's on the back
Fuck.
end.
I'd take Jalen. I'd take
Oh,
another one.
replacing my son over here.
Yeah, seriously. Well, let's get into the Jets win total. Over under 9.5. Over is minus 122. I'm gonna take the over.
9.5, huh?
Over, but it's gonna be tight. I think they win 10 games. I think they end up 10-7. The over is minus 122. I think the defense is good enough to carry them.
Their
And then
defense is-
Rodgers and the O line's going to be a problem. And Rodgers, he's going to week 3 or 4. One of those games, you're going to see him fucking get on him.
Yeah, he's not going to be Mr. Nice Guy forever, and nor should he be.
You saw it slip out during that Panther scrimmage.
He's like, guys, like protect.
Yeah.
Like he was totally frustrated, right? Totally frustrated, and for he had every right to be. This team could be great. I had this team in the AFC Championship, but I have to remember, like I'm buying the hype. I have to remember, O-line is really bad, and we've talked about it with the Cowboys. The most important unit on any team, I believe, is the offensive line.
Without it, you can't do anything.
Right. So I think they win 10 games. I think they go 10-7. I'll give you a prediction on the I got one AFC pick for the championship game in this division. So,
Whoa.
and it's not the Jets, but I like the over with the Jets. New England 7.5, under minus 142.
Go ahead, ring that bell,
You
Papa.
can book the shit
ring
out of that.
fucking blue
You
chip
literally
bell.
Bet it now, because that thing should be 5.5.
Under 7.5.
Yeah, that's all Bill Belichick right there. They're thinking that that he's gonna somehow get it right in this division, dude. They can go 1-5,
So I looked at divisions.
maybe even 0-6.
I think this is the second toughest division in the league.
Wow, I think it's the toughest.
Well,
Who do you think is the toughest? The AFC West?
no, we're talking about it.
Oh, right
next.
after this?
Yeah.
Oh man, all right,
I think that's the toughest.
all right. So I have New England down there like 5 wins.
Yeah.
So under 7.5, minus 142. Next up is Miami at 9.5. Over under both at minus 110. Miami's defense should be a lot better this year.
Should be better. I think they have a really good roster.
They have an amazing roster. They probably have a top 5 roster in the league.
I do.
9.5, tough division. They got to play the Bills and the Jets 4 times combined. But I'm going to take the Dolphins over as well.
Really, though?
Over as well. I think they get to 10. I think that division is going to have 3 teams over 10 wins.
You banking on Tua staying alive?
I'm banking on Tua. I'm banking on Tua's coach, not putting them in tough situations.
So, fun little thing about Tua. He did some kind of interview, and I don't know why no one has mentioned it yet, but he always wears long sleeves. And someone has seen, in the Samoan culture, they do these tattoos. My son has one of them, and they're very, very, very painful. But some say that Tua has a full sleeve, and full sleeve Tua is going to be different, Papa. He's got full sleeve Tua is a dog.
I think they're gonna finish in second in the division.
Who do I have in the second in the division?
So
I also have them second in the division.
So I have them second. I have the Patriots last. I have the Jets, then the Dolphins, and then I think the team that will get to the AFC Championship game will be the Buffalo Bills. Over is minus 144. I think this team wins 12 or 13 games. I think this year they're going to run the ball a little bit more. They're going to, Josh Allen last year, everybody's now like writing him off. Oh, he's gonna digress and blah blah because of that playoff game.
Not only are they going to run the ball more, there's a stat that last year the Bills ran the least amount of 2 tight end sets. And when you have 2 tight end sets up to the line, they didn't run the ball well. Everyone knows this. New offensive coordinator, I believe, they are committed to running the ball. They got a great tight end. There was a really good tight end draft. I can't remember which tight end they got.
Dalton Kincaid.
Did he go number 1 overall?
I think he was the first
He
tight
was
end
the
on the
first
board.
tight end off the board.
And we've seen that dude dominate.
Yes.
Dominate at Utah. They're going to go 2 tight ends. They need to run the ball because Josh Allen needs to stop running the ball.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a different season for them. And
I
they
do
play.
too.
I think they play the Jets week 1. By the way,
Yeah.
they
Monday Night
are
Football.
road favorites right now at -1.5. We'll give you that blue chip.
Yes.
The first week.
Yes.
But Bills, I think they make the championship game. I think they make the AFC title game this year. I think this year is their year.
So that I have the exact same thing. You have Pats, Jets, Dolphins, Bills. I love.
Yeah, I'm not high on the Jets
Yeah.
because of the O-line. And I always have this thing, even though I put Rodgers in my top 5, there's just something about Rodgers that bothers me at certain point in certain games in the season. Like when he gets I saw him literally quit on his team in a
Yeah.
game against Minnesota, and it pissed me off. I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
I don't think you wanted to be there in the beginning of the season, though.
Well, no, this was like 3 years ago.
It started 2 years ago. Was it 3
Yeah,
years
it
when they
started
drafted?
2, yeah.
When they drafted Jordan Love, it really messed with his head. Like he started checking out.
It was that season.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was that first Jordan Love.
Yeah,
season there.
he let that get to him big time. Not drafting a receiver, and I agree with you.
Yeah, I that's who I'm going with. Buffalo AFC title game, 12-13 wins. Take that over. The ones I really love, the under on the Patriots and the over on the Bills. The other two are cautious, but I love those two.
So what is the over on the Bills again? Win total
10.5, and it's -144.
I like.
So you got to lay a lot of juice there.
Yes.
So Bills, AFC title game for me. So and we'll cover the other team probably next week.
Yeah.
So and it's not who you're thinking. Because I have a dark horse. Not even a dark horse. It's
I think I know who it is.
that's who the team I picked earlier.
So that is your AFC East rundown. I believe it's the second toughest division in the league. Other than the Patriots, anyone could win the division there.
Oh, any one of those three. I think it's the best division.
Yeah.
But you think
I think
the
it's
other
second
one's the best.
So
Let's cover the one you think is the best.
I think the NFC East this year is the toughest division in football. When you look at top to bottom, who I have coming in fourth, the New York Jets. That's who I have coming in
The
fourth.
Giants?
The Giants. I mean, they made the playoffs last year, Rafa. They made the playoffs last year.
Their win total, by the way, is 7.5.
Wow.
And the under is -118.
Wow.
-118, by the way.
Well, don't keep us waiting. Give us the pick.
I like the under on the Giants.
under 7.5.
Under 7.5 on the Giants. I don't think this division is as good as everyone thinks it is. I think it's top heavy, the top two teams. I think the Giants, last year they what 10 games?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they get to 8 games this year. I really don't. Their schedule's a little bit tougher.
They won a playoff game last year.
They won a playoff game. They beat Minnesota.
Minnesota was fraud.
They
Let's
were
not get
fraud.
crazy
We
there.
labeled them as a fraud last year.
Yeah, so the
Faux
Giants under 7.5. I don't think they can repeat that. They have an amazing coach. Daniel Jones doesn't do it for me.
Listen, now this year, what they call him, the White Vic?
The White Vic. That's the
the
stupidest
vanilla
fucking.
Vic.
Yeah, it is.
Vanilla
the
Vic.
Vanilla Vic.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I think
Josh Allen's more of Vanilla Vic than this dude.
you don't think Darren Waller's going to make a difference in that offense, Rafa?
Are you kidding? Those guys are
Going to give a receiving option at least.
yeah, to drop balls and not play.
Well, as soon as he cuts another record in
Yeah.
New York studio.
Yeah, I like the under on the Giants. But I don't have them in last place. I have the Washington Redskins under 6.5. The under is -128, by the way. That team is abysmal. Eddie loves
the
the
Redskins.
Redskins.
Man.
They're a 5-12 team at best. Tyler Heineke, he fucking won games for them that they shouldn't have even won. They don't have that with Sam Howell. They're already bitching and crying that the coach said this and that.
Can I do my wrong? Wrong.
I'm letting you. This is who I'm. And put it minus 128. The under 6.5. This team's winning 5 games. This team's winning 5 fucking
Ron
games.
effing Rivera. Listen, the albatross has been lifted from this organization. They're probably going to be the Redskins again next year. Everyone knows.
The United States will not allow it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that, Papa. But listen, they won 8 games last year with just a cloud.
Heineke won those games. There were games they were out of it.
So here's
Heineke
my
was a
point.
dog.
Here's my point. I've watched Sam Howell, right, for the last 3-4 years. Sam Howell is more mobile than Sam Heineke. He's faster. He has a better arm. He has a cannon. I think he won the job today, by the way. Said they just named Sam Howell starting quarterback. And Ron Rivera, I love Ron Rivera as a coach.
You know what the difference with Heineke and Howell is? And Heineke with a lot of different backup quarterbacks, that Heineke has a wow factor in him. The only guy that almost beat Tom Brady in Tampa in the playoffs were the Redskins. The only team that was even close in those playoffs.
I'm telling you, Rafa, you have not seen enough of Sammy Howell.
The Redskins crying like bitches 2 weeks ago is very, very, very problematic, and it's a red flag. You're little bitches.
Oh, about
Bieniemy.
Bieniemy.
So and I think they're 5-12 at best.
You talk about Jahad Dotson, who is a sleeper in fantasy. Jahad Dotson is.
Of course, he's a sleeper in fantasy. The fucking team's going to be down 35-0.
McLaurin, maybe the most underrated receiver
in the whole league. That dude does not get enough credit. There's weapons. There are weapons in Washington, and Washington has 2 great edge rushers in Sweat and Chase Young.
Who they didn't fucking sign on his 5-year.
Chase Young has to play.
5th year.
Well, he has to play. Yeah,
he was amazing his first 8 games, and then you don't fucking play.
Well, he tore his ACL. It's not
then what?
He wasn't like a Darren Waller where he had an imaginary rib. Whatever.
I like this under. You like them in your playoffs.
They're my dark horse wild card team. I think they win 10 games, and I think Sam Howell is gonna be a dog.
I think your Sam Howell bias is ridiculous.
I think what Sam Howell needs to learn how to do is not run so much. Because his offensive line was so bad at UNC, he relied on running. If they could, keep him in the pocket, step up in the pocket, step through the pocket, I think he's going to be great. I've seen him play with the Redskins. Every time he plays with the Redskins, he looks good. I'm telling you, Rafa, this kid has a great arm, and I just think Sam Howell's, and I get it. I'm a UNC,
Homer,
whore, whatever.
Homer. I don't call you a whore.
I couldn't tell.
Oh yeah. But I was gonna wear all UNC today, by the way. I was going to.
Wouldn't have shocked me.
Yeah, but that's my thing. But go on, Rafa.
That's my under. So I have under on the Giants 7.5, under on the Redskins 6.5. I think the Giants win 6-7. I think the Redskins win 4-5.
What's the over/under on the Giants?
7.5.
And what's you don't think the Redskins win over?
I don't think they win 7 games. Last year they won 8-8. They went 8-1, and those 8 wins, 3 of them were like
miracle
wins at the end of the game.
And Heineke was a dog.
And Heineke was the dude.
So what does it say to you that Sam Howell won this job?
Heineke didn't win the job last year.
Heineke's not on the team.
He's not. Who's the?
He's with the Falcons.
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett he beat
Jacoby
out.
Brissett.
Are you kidding? Fuck.
Yeah.
I beat out Jacoby Brissett.
I mean, but why? If Heineke's so badass, how did he not beat out Ritter in Atlanta?
And you can, dude. When your team is going in a certain direction, and that's the draft pick you used, whether it's 3rd round, 4th round, whatever, that's who they're going to go with.
Heineke was Eddie Money's, man last year.
Dude, he was a dog last year.
He was a
dog.
dog. He was a dog.
Bro, he had games where he won those games. I don't think they have that. I think they end in last place in the division, and they're 5 wins.
Receiver's fault right there.
Stop running.
Yep, stop running.
Okay.
Oh, he looks
Or
hideous.
We're watching Bryce highlights.
Yes.
And
Just missing the Cowboys, right?
oh no, we got the Eagles as well.
Okay.
So the next up is the Eagles 11.5. I like the under on this. Under is minus 128, by the way. Vegas also likes the under. I think they're right there, 10 or 11 wins. I think there's going to be a change. You got lost some pieces.
The defense got younger.
Way younger.
Way younger.
So, and that was their offense was really good, but that defense.
They were the best offensive team in the league last year, I believe.
Probably,
Yeah.
except on their defense.
I watched that Super Bowl again, okay? I watched it again
How
last
good
week.
was Mahomes?
No,
good was Mahomes
that
in it?
horrible fumble in the second quarter where Jalen Hurts just throws the ball on the floor for no reason, and they score a touchdown. That should be 21-3 at half. 21-3, maybe 27-3 at half in that Super Bowl.
And what happened?
Fucking
It didn't
Jalen Hurts fucking gave him a touchdown.
it didn't happen.
Spotted him 7 points.
11.5, I think, is a big number for them. I think they're a 10-win, 11 team at the most. That under is minus 128. I like the Eagles to finish second in the division.
By the way, you know who the Eagles got at running back this year? Swift, baby.
Yeah.
That dude is talented as F.
They
They didn't have a running back. I mean,
Are you
Miles
kidding?
Sanders sucked. Boston Scott sucked last year.
Oh, dude.
They got a real running back
I
this
don't
year,
know.
Rafa.
I don't know if that's.
They got a
But-
real. They got Miles Jack, UCLA
Let's ring this up.
linebacker.
This is my. There's 2 teams in the NFL I think are going to hammer their total. This is one of them. I gave you over on the under on the Patriots. This over for Dallas 9.5. This should be done by week 14. 14.
We got to see.
You hate that? I hate Dallas. Believe me, I hate
It's
Dallas.
not that I hate Dallas.
The
but go
roster.
ahead.
Look, Cooper Rush. If he has to come in and play because Dak gets hurt, dude, Dak will manage that team, the roster. They'll be fine. Do they ever win in January? Fuck no. But in the regular season, dude, Dak is 61-36 in the regular season.
With great rosters.
He has a really, really, really good roster.
Oh, man.
He has a really good roster. They got better on defense. Micah's going to play the outside the entire time.
Where did they get better on defense?
They drafted the defensive tackle from Michigan. A big void for them. They signed Stephon Gilmore.
Mazzie Smith?
Yeah, they got this.
Mazzie.
They signed Stephon Gilmore.
Who's
They have Brandon
102
Cooks.
years old.
Doesn't matter. They have Brandon
Doesn't matter.
101. They signed Brandon Cooks.
You like Brandon Cooks?
I don't like Brandon Cooks, but you have CeeDee Lamb, you have Brandon Cooks.
And who
You-
else? And
Michael Gallup.
Gallup.
Gallup is now back. Oh
lost their
my
tight
God!
Gallup.
This team will win at least 11 games this season and win that division. Probably get a bye and then lose their first playoff game.
Listen.
You know what? I just looked through the schedule.
Oh, are you kidding? 11 is the number for
11's
them.
the number.
Let me tell you. And now let's clip this shit because I have a whole theory going on. I looked at this roster today, up and down, okay? And I do agree they have a talented roster. But number one, I do not like the coach, Luke.
God.
And he's
Can't
calling
stand it.
plays this year. He's calling plays this year, okay? Number two, I do not like the quarterback, okay?
The quarterback's been there.
Those are the 2 most important pieces on any team, okay? Tyron Smith, he's an injury waiting to happen. He hasn't stayed healthy in the last 4 years, okay? They overpaid. Listen, the easiest job in the world is to be an agent for a Dallas Cowboy,
Yeah.
okay?
You think they overpaid Zach Martin?
100%. They overpay everyone, Rafa. And here's
Dude, Zach Martin's a
Zach-
Hall of Fame
He's
guard.
the best guard in the league, right?
There's no doubt about it. It's not even close.
No, he got a fair contract.
Of course
got
he
a
did.
Fair contract.
they overpay everybody.
Dude, that offensive line has been so good for a handful of years.
I'm not saying it's a good, but they also have issues. When's the last time they haven't been hurt?
Eddie, they won 12 games last year. They won 12 games the year before.
Thanks to Cooper
Their
Rush.
total now, dude, they were 4-1. Their total is 9.5. You're going to tell me, Dak, by the way, every season that Dak's been healthy, he's had one season under 9 wins. One.
Okay. I hate the receiving core. They lost at tight end. I think they
Dalton Schultz is gone.
Dalton Schultz is
no
gone.
big deal.
Who is
big deal.
Eddie Money's man.
That was my favorite white boy.
Yes. I think they got a rookie really tall out of South Dakota State or something. I forget his name. Okay. But tight end is super important to Dak. But here's my theory on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. And I was thinking about it today. And Jerry Jones has a very similar problem that I have, right? And this is why he overpays everyone. And this is why constantly they're in salary cap hell. Because Jerry Jones is a billionaire. And he can't stand...
You're a billionaire?
No, I don't have that problem.
Okay.
But it might be even worse because I'm not a billionaire. But Jerry Jones' Achilles heel is that he's afraid of being accused of being cheap. Like, he has so much money. What he doesn't get is that the NFL has a salary cap. And when someone holds out, he just gives them more money. And he does it for everybody. And it's because he can't afford it personally. And you know, he could spend all the money in the world, but that's not how the NFL works. There's a salary cap. Just like me. You know, I went to go buy glasses yesterday. He could tell you. I didn't mean to do it, but I picked the most expensive glasses in the whole fucking building. And I don't have Jerry Jones's fucking money. That's for damn sure. But he continually overpays everybody because I don't know why he doesn't want to let down fans. But Jerry Jones is slowly morphing in to Al Davis. And it's really...
That's not even close.
Oh,
are you
my
kidding?
God. Jerry...
Slowly morphing into Al Davis? Jerry Jones has
they're
playoff teams.
Very similar.
Really? Let's say Al Davis hasn't had a playoff team before he passed. When was the last time they made the playoffs? Jerry Jones is consistently a playoff team. His team is consistently in the playoffs. If you look at them, they've been in the playoffs. And by the way, the whole Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, this is not their first year together. This is not their first year. They went back-to-back 12-win seasons. For you to say Mike McCarthy has the same fucking record as Sean Payton, by the way. And
who you don't think is good either.
100%. But I think that the roster is good enough to win 9.5 games in that shit. The bottom two, to me, the Giants and the Redskins are garbage.
I will agree with you that they're good enough to win 10, maybe even 11 games.
That's 100. That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you, they probably will not win a playoff game unless Dak plays exceptional throughout the year, and has that momentum going to the playoffs, which has never happened. So it's never happened, and we know that. I'm not talking about Dallas in the playoffs. I don't even put them past the fucking second round if they get a bye.
So here's my theory, Luke and Eddie Money. We remember what happened after that horrible performance because in the playoffs, Dak played awful. And then the official Cowboys Twitter, not one tweet, but 2 tweets, just went, full-blown death, murder, kill on Dak. Embarrassed the shit out of him, okay? And there's no way, not a chance in hell, that Jerry Jones didn't approve that tweet. He might have wrote it himself. And what I'm saying is he at least had to have seen it. He at least had to have seen it.
It did get taken down, though.
So
eventually.
Like immediately it got taken down.
No, not immediately.
No, not immediately. It was
for
for
like
a little
a
bit.
week or two, which is a long time for that scorched earth tweet. So my theory is this: if Dad struggles early, oh my God,
Pull up their schedule.
I have it.
I haven't looked at the schedule.
By the way, you're talking about Dak like he's a total bum.
He's not a total bum.
So I don't know who it was. Put out a top 5 list of the 5 quarterbacks in the NFC. They have Dak at number 1.
Oh yeah, NFC quarterbacks are god awful.
So if he's all, who's on the Jalen Hurts is number 2.
He should be number 1.
Well,
not even close. Not close.
Overall body of work.
Yeah.
Anybody, you have Dallas' schedule?
Yep.
Let's hear it.
All right, week 1, they play at the Giants.
W.
Then they play home against the Jets.
Tough game.
Tough game.
That's a loss.
I don't know about
Let's
that.
mark. All right, let's just say we're.
Let's just say loss for.
That D line is gonna kill Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, Micah's gonna have fucking nutsack, and Rodgers is by the second
That's a
halftime.
10-7 game right there.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Then
Rodgers gonna fumble.
week 3 they play at Arizona.
W.
That's a W. 2-1.
Then they play the Patriots.
W.
3-1.
Then they play the Niners.
That's a loss.
That's a loss. Is that at home?
3-2.
That's
It doesn't
at
matter.
San Francisco.
No.
Doesn't
It matters.
matter.
It matters.
We
But that's a
the
loss.
Raiders beat
And
fucking Dallas.
That's a loss, and I question that. Don't say that.
They
Go
did
ahead. Yeah, when?
on Thanksgiving.
That's Thanksgiving.
Oh God.
Dallas has been bad the last couple of Thanksgivings. Dak sucks on Thanksgiving. Eats too much turkey in the morning.
Fucking Derek Carr went in there and took their lunch on Thanksgiving.
Look at Derek Carr.
In fucking
What else you got?
that stadium.
Then week 6 they play at SoFi against the Chargers.
That's a win. They beat the Chargers last year
Come.
here at SoFi.
Oh, by the way,
Kellen Moore revenge game.
Kellen Moore revenge game.
Let's give him a loss.
Which
If you
is
wanna
another
give him-
reason I think the Cowboys take a step back. I think Kellen Moore was actually a great OC.
Dude, were games where his play calling was garbage.
I don't know.
Don't make
about
me
that.
pull up
I
the
mean,
footage.
Those
But-
last two plays were garbage.
So Eddie's going to put him at 3-3. Let's put him at 3-3.
They're 3-3 going into their bye. All right. After the bye, they play the Rams at home.
Oh, W.
That's 4.
4-3.
Then they play at Philly.
That's a
4-4.
Then they play against the Giants.
That's a
You
win.
got- that's a
think they
division-
sweep
division
them.
opponent.
I think they sweep them at home. By the way,
Okay, I'll go 5-4. That's a sweep in the division. Very tough to do.
Then they play at Carolina.
WAP,
6-4.
Then they play the Redskins at home.
WAP, 7-4 at
Oh,
home.
you got to split that though.
Are you kidding?
Okay, I'll give them 7-4, but we're splitting that second one.
The Redskins literally have a number of 6.5, and the unders minus 128. The only person who believes the Redskins are going to be good are you and Sam Howell's mother. That's it.
Lovely lady, by the way.
Who else you
Lovely
got?
lady.
We're at 7-4. What else you got?
Then they play Seattle at home again
Oh.
the next week.
Loss.
At home?
Yes.
Insane.
Why is that insane?
Because they're at home against Seattle.
Dallas at home doesn't mean shit.
Are
I
we
just told
out of
you.
our mind?
I just
Who
told
else
you
you
that
got?
the Raiders put it to them.
By the way, Zach said when you get to NFC West, Rafa, don't sleep on the Seahawks again.
I will sleep on the
I think
Seahawks
the
because they
Seahawks
fucking
are
got their
gonna
ass
be
whooped.
really
I,
good.
I still believe the Cowboys win that game.
Yeah, 8-4.
Okay, we'll go 8-4 then.
Go ahead.
Then they play the Eagles
At home, that's a win.
Oh,
Like-
You split the Eagles. You want to split the Redskins? You want to split the
okay,
Eagles?
so
Yeah.
I'll give you
Yeah, they're
that.
splitting the Eagles.
Okay,
8-4. Who else
then you got to give me a Washington split.
How am I going to give you a Washington? Go ahead.
Then they play against Buffalo in there.
No, that's a loss.
8-5.
8-5.
And they play at Miami.
Oh, that's on Christmas Eve. I'm going to that game, by the way. That's Christmas Eve. I will be there for that.
Be a nice game.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We do 8-5, 8-6, whatever you
Let's
want.
go 8-6.
Then they play Detroit at home.
That's a win. That's a win. You're not losing back to back.
Detroit.
That's a win for me.
They close out the year at Washington.
9-6.
I think they're 11-5. I mean 11-6, at least. At least.
When I did the schedule, I gave them 11.
I
say 10-7. I got 10-7. I think that Detroit game.
Either way,
That Detroit
over
game-
is
Either
still
way,
hidden.
still
It's a
I
trap
love
game.
that over. I think that is the second worst
It's
total.
9.5. It is
9.5.
Yeah, I'd take 10 all day.
And-
10 all day. And that's sweeping Washington. That's sweeping the Giants. We didn't give two. Well, we didn't.
Dude, they open at the Giants. Opening game at New York. It's probably Sunday night. I'm not sure. It's Sunday night. I guarantee you Dallas wins that game by 10.
Ooh, man.
Guarantee you
Papa.
Dallas wins that. That defense, that front line, I promise you, is by week 4 or 5, you're going to be shocked how good that front line is.
Yeah, it's a Sunday night game.
You're going to be shocked. You're going to be like, wow, Parsons got that much better.
I'm not a Van Der Esch fan at all. I'm also not what's his name? The brother, the cornerback.
Trayvon
Diggs. I'm not a Diggs fan.
I'm not a Diggs fan at all.
Diggs fan. If you look at his real, listen, he had
He has shit ton of interceptions. Can't guard.
He gets
He-
thrown
no.
on so much.
Oh,
He gets,
yeah.
I think he gets beat more than anybody because he
He got
takes
beat the most last year.
Yeah, because he takes so many chances.
Yeah, I agree.
And Stephon Gilmore, although I do like him, my God, he's the Peyton Manning of cornerbacks.
Don't say that.
He's old
I-
as F.
That
I
is very high price. You should put Peyton Manning in your top 5. You should say Stephon Gordon top 5 cornerback all the time.
Yeah, he's talking about Peyton
I'm
Manning
just
like the
right
last year
now,
at Denver
yeah,
where he couldn't
yeah.
fucking throw the ball.
Like, he's old.
I think Dallas is going to be 11-win team minimum.
Well, even if they're 10, you win.
Yeah. No, I love the over. I love the over on Dallas. Love the under on New England. Dude, I don't think New England can win 4 or 5. I think that they beat the Raiders once, and then that's it.
By the way,
They're
can I give a little prediction on the side note? I think Kellen Moore gets the head coaching job after next year when the Chargers, again, who I picked the Chargers, had the best roster in the NFL last year. Chargers, again, amazing roster, horrible fucking coach, and I think Kellen Moore gets that job. And
I don't think so. I think the coach is going to be better this year. He got better as the season went on.
He did get better because he stopped doing stupid shit.
He was terrible in the playoff game.
That was rough.
He was terrible in the playoff game. I think that
was it 33-0 or
27.
Oh my god.
That was to me. He did a terrible job there. He should have been fired after that game.
He should have been fired after that game.
100%. He should have been fired there. But
the segment should be named after him.
So Dallas, I think, wins the division. I think Buffalo wins the division and goes to the AFC title game. I think Dallas wins the division, narrow margin, maybe a game, but I think they definitely get to 11 wins. I think the Eagles, 10 or 11, that number, 11.5, that's a 12-win season. That defense is super young. You have changes on offense. They still have their great receiver, their really good quarterback.
Lost both coordinators.
Both gone. So that's a new change for a young QB.
So I'll give you my how NFC. So I got Giants, Redskins, Cowboys, Eagles. Fly Eagles fly. He knows I'm a Hurts guy. I'm a Jalen Hurts. I think he's an adult. I think he's a great leader. I think he's a hard worker. I think their weapons. I heard something today. Someone said something really stupid and said that Devontae Smith will be the best receiver in the league this year. I don't know. I heard it. I was like, what the? Even I took a step back. But A.J. Brown, Devontae, they have the tight end. You have DeAndre Swift, who I think is going to have a breakout year. I mean, those two in the backfield could be scary, Luke. Luke, very scary.
I don't know. I don't know about that DeAndre Swift take.
Me neither.
Really?
I don't like it.
I think he's
I
super
watched
talented.
back some of that film last year.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He didn't hit some holes that he should have hit.
No,
Really?
I don't think he has that.
That vision's
that
not
vision.
there anymore.
The vision's not there.
Yeah.
The burst. He's at the tail end, right, for running back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he should be.
Not to mention, they do have the best O-line in the NFL.
That's why
It's not the Cowboys. It's the Eagles.
He was already used in the committee and the Lions. So if
And now
he's gonna have a better
and now-
line behind him, he'll just be in the committee.
Now
again.
Carter, with the fucking Eagles, they had a great draft.
Again.
They had an amazing draft, but it's a very young defense now. So you've lost some guys out there, and we'll see.
Cox is still there. I just think Hassan Reddick. He was.
He's a
he
monster.
had 17
Dog.
sacks. 17 sacks last year, and now they're gonna have a great rush. Although they had that D line was amazing last year.
I don't think I think they overachieved last year. I don't think they do that this year. I don't think they win 11.
Luke and I were talking about Caleb Ringo from Georgia, the cornerback that dropped. He's getting toasted.
Oh my God! They just showed.
It's so
they
bad.
showed one clip. He just never turns his head.
That was against DTR.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
La
it
La
was
Land.
disgusting.
Imagine that.
There's a reason he dropped, man. Listen.
Oh, Dak's gonna fucking pick him apart, huh?
Listen, I've also seen a shitload of Dak in Oxnard. I don't know.
He looks terrible.
Dude, he's throwing up not 50, he's throwing up 30, 70 balls.
Yeah,
up.
but Parsons is gonna make up. He's made up enough.
You are blinded by the star and blinded by Micah Parsons.
I'm not a Cowboy fan. Everybody knows I'm not a Cowboy fan.
I'm gonna have to check you for
100%. I'm not a Cowboy fan. It's not my squad. But to me, Micah Parsons is one of the two best defensive players in the league, in my opinion. And he is that dude. I think this year he will have 15 sacks easy.
Oh, he better.
Maybe even 20.
He better.
Big fucking number.
all right.
Big number coming from Micah.
Easy.
Bro, he might be so good.
He might be so good, they're going to put him at middle linebacker,
He might be
dropping in
so
the curl
good.
and covering the flat. That's the problem.
Dude,
I told you.
he might be so good, he might
didn't
get
use
MVP
him.
votes.
They just should put him on the edge and say, go after the ball.
You have them losing to the Jets, by the way. At home. They're at home against the Jets in week 2, right?
I thought they were in New York. against
No,
the
because
Jets.
they play the Giants on the road. I think
They're home against the
They're
Jets.
home against
My,
the Jets.
my reasoning for that though is I don't see the Jets losing week 1 and week 2.
Oh,
I think
do.
they lose week 1 to Buffalo.
this guy.
I think they come back win week 2.
on the road
Yeah, I think so.
because it's Aaron Rodgers and Cowboy fans know.
Rodgers owns the Cowboys.
Oh, and he
He
owns
does.
them. He owns them.
Owns the
He owns them,
Cowboys.
but he owned them wearing green and yellow, and he's wearing green and white this time. A little different. But yeah, Cowboy fans actually believe that shit. Like, oh, Rodgers coming week 2, we better win week
Cowboys
1.
believe they're the best team in the league every year.
Every fucking
They're the
fan.
worst. They're the worst.
Dude,
No,
dude,
no.
every fan
Not true.
except for you believes their team is the best team.
Oh, that's hard to believe.
It's pretty true.
Really?
It's 100% true.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's why I hate fanatics, especially football fans. This is our year. You know that only one
Luke
team
asked me
wins the
that today.
Super Bowl.
When he saw my jersey, he's like, "So is this the Raiders' year?" I'm like, "Luke, no,
It's never.
not me, not me.
No,
I'm not
Eddie's
that
not
guy."
that dude. Eddie's not that dude. But there's a lot of guys like, oh, if we just did this and that and that. Bro, there's all these fans. Oh, dude, only one team wins it every year. Yeah, no shit.
That is
No
the,
shit.
That is the great thing about the NFL. And we're going to take a break here really soon, get some lights up, and take our break. But that is the amazing thing about the NFL is that it is a thin line between being very good and not making the playoffs. It's a thinnest line of any professional sport that I can think of. That you could 2 players, a couple turnovers here and there. That's the thing with the Cowboys. They're a very turnover happy team. They did great with the turnovers. And turnovers, 20% of turnovers are sort of flukes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, tip balls and so
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And I agree with you. And that's why I think Cowboy fans have that, you know what, you can get hot and win it because the Eagles and the Giants have done it with Nick Foles and Eli Manning.
And they can.
And they can.
And they can.
And Dallas always has a roster where we're probably going to make the playoffs. So we can get hot. That's the fans' mentality, I think. When you're a fan of another team, you have to be more fucking realistic. Raider fans.
Yeah.
Fucking the Panthers.
Yeah.
Those
every
turd
team,
teams.
Every team.
Not every team, but when you're a Chiefs fan, your team, the Bills, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Niners.
Yeah.
Like you're like, you know what, dude, we're gonna get there and we got a chance. The Ravens, those teams, even the Steelers for many years.
And it's true. A defense is a staple to that. You have a chance to do anything with a good defense, and defense doesn't win championships anymore in this era, but you have a chance to win if you have a great defense, and Dallas does. Cincinnati's defense, San Francisco's defense,
Pittsburgh's defense.
Pittsburgh's defense. Who's the sleeper? People are saying Pittsburgh's going to be really good this year.
Oh, Pickett's.
I've
Pickett
heard
looks good.
I've heard one or the other. It's like second in the division or bottom of the division.
I don't think they're bottom.
That's a great division.
And I'm a
too.
Steelers fan, so that pisses me off
Yeah,
when I hear
yeah.
bottom.
Oh, I could be actually because the Browns, man. We'll get to that division though.
So listen,
Real quick before the break, Cecilia has 2 questions.
yes.
She says, Rafa, what should my bet be on the Ravens? I know we're not talking about Ravens yet, but she says, what should my bet be on the Ravens? Asking from a new gambler that has $200 to bet, and where's the best place to do sports betting? Las Vegas, online, or Indian casinos?
Okay, go to Vegas,
Vegas.
win bets or the MGM Grand. Take your 200, put 100 on the Ravens to win the AFC, 100 on the Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, she did it last year. She put 100 on the Ravens. I don't know, she might have, I don't know.
My brother's a huge Ravens fan.
Yeah.
Huge Ravens fan. We'll get to that division next week. I love me some Ravens.
I'll
Yes.
be here, boys.
Yes.
Yeah. Uncle Zero also says it's time for Modern Day versus Centon. High school football is back.
High school football is back. Bosco on tonight. Modern Day Corona Centennial. Logan, one of the best coaches. This is going to be a blowout, though, Uncle Zero. I do love Corona Centennial. But
They're going to lose by 40.
we are the high school football show of record. We will follow high school football. CJ on staff at Bosco. It was between UNC. I was going to wear Bosco gear, and I went
You went
Raiders.
We didn't even do the fucking
He
AFC
was like,
West today.
it's either between 2 things, and I didn't wear either.
Good point. So with that, we will be right back. Give us a little time to
2
set
minutes.
up some lights. Yes,
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
back in live, and everyone is here for the first time.
You know what?
Unbelievable.
So if you guys are huge fans of the show, you know the difference. Rafa bought 2 chairs because half of the time I'm trying to squeeze my fat ass in through the table and the couch. So it's easy access, baby. So thank you guys for coming back. That was our NFL segment. I was just telling Rafa, when we're in full swing, we're going to have to immediately go into You're Fired at NFL, and that's it. Because we can talk NFL all day long. We can gamble on it all day long. Oh, we have Modern Day and Corona Centennial on TV, Uncle Zero.
0-0, by the way, after the first quarter.
Woo! Wait, how much time is left in that quarter?
18 seconds.
18 seconds. Isn't
Wow!
that crazy?
By
Isn't
the
that
way,
crazy?
Modern Day #1 team in the country. Greg Biggins said that this is the best team that he's seen.
He's a homer.
He's sort of a homer, but the guy knows. He knows everyone's aunt and uncle in California, Southern California. I've had the chance to hang out with him and drink some beers. It's so much fun. But he said Modern Day, this is the best team since 2017. And they're in a dogfight in the first quarter with Corona Centennial. I think his name is Dave Logan, the coach. He's a legend at Corona Centennial. And you know what? And they don't recruit at Corona Centennial. You know, they're a straight-up public school. He's run the same offense. Uncle Zero could tell you they run these crazy splits. If you see it, it's center and then like 2 yards in between
the linemen?
between their guards. It looks so easy, and he just schemes it like no one's ever have. And shout out to Corona Centennial. We are high school football ready. Bosco playing Liberty from Nevada tonight, and we'll see how that goes. Both of these schools are just elite. But let's get into Major League Baseball. Sponsored by I didn't give the sponsorship to Custom Cars.
It's all right.
Let's go. MLB, sponsored by CustomCars.com. Custom with the K, cars with the Z.com. Great, easy to navigate website. Amazing vehicles, aftermarket vehicles you guys want. Raised trucks, lowered trucks. Rafa, talk about it. Maybe I should
Whatever you guys need.
Whatever you guys need.
Whatever you need. We'll customize your car. If you bought a new one, you can bring it to us and we'll hook you up.
Yeah, and they do great work over there. I've sent many people there, and they do great work. I'm not hesitant to recommend Custom Cars. If you're in the market for anything, man, go hit them up. Tell them that you watch Two Nobodies. You will be treated like a king, and you won't regret it.
For sure.
So Major League Baseball. We're in the dog days of the summer, right? Labor Day's upon us. And
The Dodgers are on fire.
Dodgers have won 11
Are they peaking early?
in a row.
Are they peaking early?
Special guest just walks in. We might have to get the 5th mic set up over here. Zahid Valencia, okay, 4-time Ironman champion, 2-time NCAA finalist and champion wrestler, USA world team member, the legend, the myth, Zahid. Everyone give Zahid a round of applause. We wanted to have him, interview, but I said, if I interview Zahid Valencia, this shit will go so freaking viral. Like, I know the stories of him at 2 years old, 3 years old. So he's like, no, Eddie, I don't need anyone to dig that deep into my past. So Zahid, go ahead, grab a drink, take a seat, and enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Hi, how you doing? What's your name?
I'm
Grace. By the way, Zahid, huge Eagles fan, Papa.
Really?
Fly Eagles.
Just missed it.
You just missed it. We just went over the NFC East. I'm telling
No one else.
that. I'm telling you, he thinks the Cowboys are going to win that division. That would have been a great debate, Zahid. You missed it. Yeah.
I'm not a Cowboy fan either.
You're not a Cowboys fan. You still take it.
Yeah. Still. Yeah.
Just to win the division. Not even a fucking playoff game after that.
Well.
They won't even win a game after that.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. So let's talk.
Better than LeBron.
Another bad take. Man, we need to get him on the mic.
If we can, we'll get another mic set up. So listen, MLB, right? Dog days. Dodgers, 11-game winning streak.
They're on fire. I
They
asked you, are they peaking too early?
always peak too early, it seems like.
I feel like it's later in this. Yeah, maybe it's not too early.
Here's the thing. What you want to avoid is seeing the Padres. We can't have the Padres.
They're done.
When I say we, I don't play for the Dodgers, but, I have a lot of...
We're a collective
I
family.
have a lot of
We're
Dodger
with
tattoos. So if you're tattooed with Dodgers, you can say we. So,
Can you pull up the standings, anybody?
yes,
Let's see what the wild card standings are. I think the Padres are done. They should be done, but we'll see. I don't think there's no threat to the Dodgers on any of those wild card teams. I think it's the Reds, Cubs, and Giants or something.
But here's
like
the
that.
thing.
I think those are the three teams so far.
You and I know better than anyone, and Luke knows that baseball's different. And remember when Colorado Rockies won
they
the wild
ran in,
card
they
and they
went to the
just
Super Bowl.
got hot? The moves that we all thought were dog shit. Lance Lynn,
Dog.
3-0, 4-0, pitched 3 games,
He was
7
fucking
innings.
lights out last
Dude,
night. The night
He looks
before?
like Cy Young.
Dude, it's-
like
Whoa!
his Cy Young year. His Cy Young year.
Like he's back.
Like he's back to Cy
Wow.
Young Lance.
Well, he can be back the last fucking 3 weeks or something.
He's I mean, God, he doesn't look like the Lance Lynn of old. That's for
He
sure.
looked like he ate the Lance Lynn. he looks like
Who do we eat as fat shame?
He should be
Rafa?
sitting right. Lizzo does
we-
it. I could fucking fat shame.
What the fuck? Yeah, I love
Lizzo
it.
does it.
I love
we
it. I
can
love
do
it. Yeah. So Kike doing well. All the moves they've made. They're yeah,
Kike's such a fucking
yeah,
turd.
Sinead just
He's so bad. He's gonna hit fucking 100 in the playoffs. He's gonna hit
it does-
100
He probably will, but he's sort of clutch in the playoffs as well.
at 100.
Oh, what a play.
So who's the Dodgers' main threat in the National League?
The Braves.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the Phillies, man. Oh, the Phillies
Phillies
that
are
second
AL.
that
Or-
no. What are you talking about? AL.
Sorry.
You should. What are you, home base?
So let's go over Eddie Money. If
Phillies are the number one wild card, right? So it's Phillies.
Don't say home base.
It's got to be Phillies, Giants, Reds, or something. What do you got?
Yeah.
Phillies first.
Yeah.
They probably have a 3.5 or 4.5. What do they got?
They're up 2.5. The
Okay.
Giants are plus 0.5, and the Reds are even.
And who's behind them?
The Marlins are half a game behind
Oh, they're playing well.
Marlins coming in tonight.
tonight. Yeah, they got a series.
They're here at Dodger Stadium tonight.
Yep. The Cubs are a game behind. Diamondbacks a game and a half behind, and
They're
the
done.
Padres are 5.5 behind.
Yeah, they're. I don't see that. You have to get extremely hot.
And then everyone has to get extremely bad.
Well, no, because they're going to be playing most of those teams. They're probably going to be closing the last month and a half or so against those
The
teams there.
Padres are playing the Diamondbacks. Second game of the series today.
The Padres lose to everybody. I mean,
hey, a sweep here, 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3.
they played well
so
against
on.
the Orioles, who are a very, very good team.
Yeah, they can get hot. At 5.5, though, I think it's a long shot. But I like the Phillies in the National League, and the Dodgers and the Braves. I think those are the 3 teams. I think, though, that outside of Ohtani, I think that Mookie Betts is the best player in baseball.
He said that today. I thought, wow.
Well, when he got traded to the Dodgers, I thought he was the second best player in baseball, and because Trout was the best player. But now Trout's not playing, and who knows when the fuck he's going to play. But outside of Ohtani, I think Mookie Betts has established himself. And people are going to say Acuna. And, bro, look at what Mookie Betts is doing. He's playing second base. He's playing shortstop. He's playing the outfield. He's playing where he's needed, and he's doing a great job.
Grab this
So-
microphone so we can set up a microphone for Zagid over here. So sorry, to
I love
interrupt
Mookie
you, Papa.
right now. I like Mookie. I think he's
Rafa did tell me that today. Shocked me. Yeah,
no, he's an exceptional talent. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
and let the record be shown that I did not. I thought the Dodgers would have a down year, and I thought specifically that Mookie would struggle this year because he struggled last year. They said it was injury, and I just, I just didn't buy into it. Mookie has completely shocked me, and we talked about this, Luke, as well. Is that he's not getting enough credit to do what he's doing in this infield. He looks like a natural.
Oh, he made a play the other night at second base where it's a very good play for a second baseman. For a guy who always doesn't play there, it's a great play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went glove side, but he went, 6 feet in the outfield, made the play. He got to the ball. I think he's Ohtani pitches, obviously, so we can't say he's the best all
Yeah,
around
yeah,
because
yeah.
Ohtani pitches. But he's second best all around player. He's the second best player. I think Acuna is behind him, but I think Mookie Betts has established himself and what he's doing this year. He hits leadoff. I mean, he does it all.
Acuna only behind because he plays one position, and Mookie, at this point, you could put him anywhere. You put him at catcher.
You can say him and Freddie are carrying the team. Everybody else hits fucking 200.
Yeah.
But that's the MLB. This you could hit 200. What is Max Muncy hitting? 200 with 27 homers.
199.
That's a thing. Like, it's been proven that it's like a 3-point analytic thing. Strikeout or hit a home run. It works. It works, right?
The thing about when you're that bad in the regular season, the numbers in the playoffs, the playoffs only get tighter. You have so many matchups. Dude, there's teams that will pitch a guy in the 6th. They'll pull their starter after 5. And we got a reliever in the 6th for this lineup. We got a reliever for this. So, I mean, if you have a lineup and it's Muncy and this guy and they're one hit 199, the other guy hit 212, the other guy hit 215, dude, those teams, they're going to prepare for that.
Yeah.
And the playoff team, they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
I think that if they don't, I don't think they're going to be great in the playoffs. Is my issue with the Dodgers.
When you go into the playoffs, the rotation goes from 5 to maybe 3, maybe 4.
For some teams,
4,
but
yeah.
I think the only team that can go through that will go 3 is maybe Philly.
Yeah.
I think everybody else, Atlanta's deep enough; they can go 4.
They can go 4 easily.
Yeah, but if you go 3, remember, even 4, one of those guys is coming in now in the 7th or in the 6th or in the 8th, right? And they're coming in. I think that's where the Dodgers are going to struggle as they struggled last year. They can score whatever amount of runs during the regular season. In the playoffs,
It's different.
They've struggled.
It's different.
They've struggled, and they've struggled year after year after year. They're on fire, and I love Mookie and Freddie, but outside of that,
What's the saying? Good pitching beats good hitting.
all the time.
And, there's some really good pitchers out there. Who do you see? I know Bueller. I don't know how far away he is. Urias finally seems to be coming out of his just horrible.
Well, right now, if you're
slump.
picking the Dodger starters for the playoffs, it's Lance Lynn, Kershaw, and Julio,
Yes.
right? And then who's the 4th guy?
I would personally, I'd go Gonsolin. Bobby is like that.
I
Bobby
think
Miller's in the pack.
Bobby might be.
Miller's going to the bullpen.
Yeah.
He's not going to pitch.
But
in the
if
playoffs.
we're saying that 4th starter,
it's Gonsolin.
I'm taking Gonsolin
Yeah, for
over
sure.
Bobby. Now,
Yeah.
Bueller comes back.
If Bueller comes back, you have to see how he comes back as well. I mean, you can't just.
Well, you could go pitching by committee like Milwaukee did against the Dodgers in 2019. So you have like the opener. You could go like Bueller pitches innings 1 and 2. Miller goes 3 to 5.
The Dodgers aren't doing that.
Listen,
The Dodgers aren't
I
doing
know.
that. They're not doing that.
I have to stop the show once again. Another wrestling legend has just walked in the door. The infamous Ruben Valencia, father of Valencia Boys, creator of Monster Garage, has made more champions than any high school wrestling coach in the country, maybe other than Mr. Buxton out of New Jersey and Blair Academy. He is the godfather of West Coast wrestling. Just got here today. My mentor, one of my best friends, Ruben Valencia, just showed up. Let's give Ruben Valencia a nice hand. Ruben, go ahead, sit down there, say hello to the people, and we're talking baseball. Ruben, by the way, exceptional baseball player. Like, you played in a lot of leagues, after high school. Say hello, Coach.
Hello to everybody. Good evening. Glad to be here.
Yes.
Came from a clinic Said was running.
Yeah.
On the way, wouldn't miss the famous pit stop we've done for many
many years. Yeah, and if you guys don't know, Ruben, we moved to Downey specifically to go to St. John Bosco, specifically so this man could coach our son, and it's been the best move we've ever made, Ruben, and the best move we've ever done.
I'm so appreciative of that intelligent move, not because you came to me, because it was something I think big for your son, your family, and more so our relationship.
Yeah.
It's something I cherish, your entire family and everything you're doing.
Can we
of
get this?
yours.
Can we get this man a drink? I have some really good tequila, Ruben. I got anything you want. I'm trying to get this guy to my right. I'm trying to get Rafa and his son to come to St. John. His son plays baseball. They're big baseball people. I'm trying to get him to come to St. John Bosco. I'm
Too far.
I'm the best.
You're the best recruiter.
Papa, you come here every Friday, and you don't even blink.
That's me. That's me.
Rafa, listen. I'll kick Jacob out. You will have that 1-bedroom suite.
Oh,
it's not as
shit.
nice as the wind, Papa, but we'll make it happen. But thank you, Ruben, for joining us. We're in the middle of MLB talk. We're talking Dodgers. Big red machine over here. Cincinnati.
Big Reds fan?
Hey, hates the Dodgers.
Cincinnati. Well, I think sometimes. So I'm a Red fan. I mean, I don't know if I still am. I'm more of a wrestling fan than anything else. I used to know a lot about every sport. I love to listen to you guys, and sometimes I think, wow, 20 years ago I would have fit right in the middle and been able to talk about everybody. I could emulate everybody's batting stance.
Oh, dude, I love
their
that.
infield, everything.
Yeah.
Now, for me to do that, you'd have to go back to 1975. I could still imitate Joe Morgan.
Encarnacion. Yes.
You know, all those guys.
Johnny motherfucking Bench.
Yeah, Pete Rose.
Yeah.
I'm more
Obviously.
Eric Davis,
Well, so
Eddie
that era-
Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric
Gary
Davis was my
Sheffield.
boy.
Yeah.
Love Eddie Murray.
We always used to imitate Rod Carew. We used to,
Did you really?
Yeah, like 7, 8 years old. The Rod Carew thing was the coolest. The wiggle the bat, and he was incredible. Rod Carew, even though he was an angel, still incredible. Luke, do you have any idea who Rod Carew is?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Luke, are you a baseball fan?
Yeah.
I mean, but you're a Dodger fan?
Yeah, so I follow NFL closely, but my dad's like huge MLB, so
Your dad's a Dodger fan?
Angel fan actually. I'm the only Dodger fan in the family.
You don't count then.
So
What
Rod
an
Carew,
ass.
Rod Carew, gentlemen.
Yes.
Here he is.
Yes.
The man. Rod Carew, I have. You said he was an angel, and then later on he had an angel, and I want to share this story not to bring a downer to this event, but to inspire this event.
Yeah.
So Rod Carew, and it stays strong in my mind. Rod Carew did a speech once his 17-year-old daughter passed away.
Yeah.
And you talk about strength and power and mentality. That's why he was such a great baseball player and a great human being. When his daughter passed away and they interviewed him, he thanked life. He thanked God for giving him a precious daughter for 17 years instead of dwelling on the negative. I just wanted to say that.
Well, let me tell you, I look and I remember that story, and they say God gives challenges and adversity to people that can handle it. This mother ever would be in a straitjacket, bouncing off walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Likewise.
So no,
powerful stuff.
very, very powerful stuff.
Ruben, you smoke?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm sure. I think the last time I did that,
It didn't end well? All right.
I felt
You felt lightheaded? Wanted to throw up?
I don't know.
It wasn't all the
Not much
tequila
I
you
can
drank?
say here, but I felt like I was
yeah.
back in my 18-year-old days. And
Oh, all right. It was probably laced with something then.
So Rafa, hates a strong word, but I think
Dislikes.
I think
Strongly
dislikes
dislikes.
Dodger and Dodger fan. So Rafa, who people don't know this, and they come after Rafa on all
I
our
don't give
Dodger
a
clips.
fuck.
He was a Dodger fan through and through, and was scorned, and he wrote off all fanatic. He just said, I'm not a fan. I'm an individual. I respect Rafa for that, but man, he has a deep seated. I'm bringing it up because Ruben feels sort of the same way about Raider fans, Dodger fans. There's a lot of idiots that have ruined it for people like me.
The thing is, those fans, for me, they're not realistic. Like, anything you say, fucking, you don't know shit, blah, blah. That's because it's your team. Because you have a tie to that team. You can't see outside of that shit. So, for me, I gamble on sports, right?
No.
Every day. Every day.
That's
I got
right.
a game on. I got a
We
bet
are the
on
gambling
Monterey.
show of record. I almost forgot.
So I don't have a tie to a team. If you have a tie to a team, you think they're going to win every night. Dodger fans think their team's going to
That's
win.
not true.
Every, 100%. Dude, there's a few that are the exception, but when you go to a family get together,
Rafa, some think they're gonna win every game, and some hope they win one game.
That's me. The ultimate pessimist.
That's Eddie.
Yes.
But
Ruben can tell you.
For me, with the Dodgers, I grew up a Dodger fan, right? My dad hated the Dodgers as I was a kid. First, I was a Dodger fan all the way. Dude, as an adult.
Cubano right here. Dad, fully Cuban. Go ahead. Give your dad's impression.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fucking Dodgers.
Dodgers is shit, man. It's shit. So, I was a Dodger fan, and when they lost to the Astros, it bothered me that fans said, at least we made the World Series. Oh, at least we got to Game 7. At least we did this. How the fuck can you be okay with that when you spent $200 million and you lost? And then they come out with the whole, they cheated and blah, blah. Barry Bonds cheated. He still hit 700-something home runs. You still have to hit the ball at the end of the day. Then you got your ass whooped by the Red Sox. Were they cheating as well? You've won one World Series. One.
Which he doesn't want to give credit for. I have to remind him all the fucking time.
I was there. I was there physically to watch the game. They won the World Series.
So
was it during COVID? Were they down 3-1 to Atlanta? Of course, but they still won. The manager from Tampa was worse than Dave Roberts. They still won. But at the end of the day, most of the fans, they talk down to other teams. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Are you the Yankees? Oh, the Angels this. Oh, the Padres this. Dude, the only people who are allowed to talk shit are the Yankees. That fan base can talk shit forever. When you even get to 10 titles, then you can maybe mention something. Other than that, you shouldn't talk. Don't talk shit about other people.
I love how fired up he is.
Because that shit bothers me. That shit bothers me. It really does. It's like, you are such a homer. Yeah. Like Laker fans, they're such a homer to Kobe Bryant. Like, you are such a homer. And your parents before that, who have now gotten older, they were probably the same way with Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
That's why I don't like fans. And Dodger fans and Laker fans and Raider fans. Well, Raider fans, not really anymore because they're irrelevant in the league, right? Not as...
They rely on one thing, the tuck rule.
Yeah, they still with that, but they're still with
the
that.
NFL.
Yeah. But Eddie Money can't say that because he didn't even live it.
Is that your best impersonation of me, fucking Luca? What the fuck, man?
So that's what bothers me about Dodger fans. The Dodger and Laker fans, like, this and that. No. Oh, they make fun of the Clippers. Leave the fucking Clippers alone.
So I agree with you, Rafa. I mean, all this stuff, Eddie knows me best. You lose a wrestling match and you have dads giving their kids a crutch. You did okay. The ref ripped you off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God. The ref ripped you off. How about in the last second of the match, the ref ripped you off? How about the 5 minutes and 59 seconds that you wrestled and that double that you had and you couldn't finish?
Yeah.
Whose fault was that?
Exactly. There's always something, and fans, especially, and probably in other cities, it's probably the same shit. You probably go to St. Louis, and they're probably the same way. But I'm in L.A., so when I see the dumbass Laker fans and Dodger fans, and they keep going, and then, like, if you're a Laker fan, how bad is your team that you have to bring up the Clippers? Like, dude, just shut the fuck up. You have, 17 titles. Who cares about the Clippers? You shouldn't care. Like, Dodger fans should never care about the Angels. Ever.
We don't.
You do. You guys do. Yeah, they do.
He just cares about Ohtani.
I'll be straight. People bring the Angels up a lot. If you're a Dodger fan,
and
it's the whole, like, you hear the big brother, like, little brother, like, argument.
The difference is with the Angels that they're in a better city.
Yeah.
And they 100% a better city. Are you kidding?
The Angels are in a better...
100%.
Anaheim?
Orange County? 100 times, not even close.
You said Anaheim.
Well, they're in a better city. Anaheim's better than...
Newport Beach? Anaheim.
Don't say that.
Crime.
Okay.
Yes.
And a crime. Yes.
Dude, it's not even close. It's not even close.
Newport Beach and Anaheim are not even close.
Dude,
100%.
Are you kidding?
Come on, man.
I'm sorry to tell you, but
you're saying this in the Mexican Beverly Hills right now, Rafa. How dare you? So, listen, we could go all day. Let's talk about who we thought was the best pitcher maybe in the major leagues.
I didn't think he was the best pitcher. I think he was pitching the best. Shane McClanahan out for the season.
Bummer.
The Rays are done.
We talked about this.
They're
right?
going to make the playoffs, but they're not going to win.
We talked about this. The Rays came out on fire, and Michael Brown always says this. He's like, in baseball, the averages will come back. If you started on fire like that, you are who you are, right? You are not that good because you play so many games. The averages are going to weigh out, and now they're not even in first place. The Birds are in first place. They lost their best pitcher. Great team. They're going to make the playoffs, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, the odds of winning, they probably went tremendously down.
Yeah, I don't think they win the first. I don't think they get out of. Well, they have a good roster, so
They're still top 5 in odds.
Top 5. So
They're all pitching though. Like
yeah,
they're all pitching. And
well, now
McClanahan-
with their players out, they got a
McClanahan's
player
gone,
out.
Yeah.
Well, they got another player out who's out for the season, so we'll see how they go. But I think that McClanahan loss is huge, and then the one story pitchers, which is the best player in baseball, Shohei Ohtani, who hit number 43 tonight. Luke, let me know.
Grand
Slam, number
Yes.
43.
Yes.
There's a rumor he's going to get 12 years, $760 million. God. Where'd you get this from, Eddie Money?
You can thank ESPN for this outrageous
Oh,
This is
see.
outrageous. This is outrageous. Zahid shares our stories one time, and I wanted Zahid's about to leave, and I have to get him on the microphone for 30 seconds, or else people won't believe that I had Zahid on the show. Zahid, we talked about. I want to know your theory on the soccer thing that I said. That soccer is going to come. It's going to hit America because smart parents are going to see the money that we're talking about Ohtani, and Ohtani's rumored to get 700 and how many million?
760.
That is
It's an ESPN rumor, though.
disgusting.
They're throwing shit out there.
And your dad has told me for many years, I said, if you didn't put your sons in wrestling, you said you'd make them soccer players. Do you think that, I think 2023 is the year of soccer in USA. I think there's going to be a trend in soccer players. I think that's going to go like Zahid. I think Zahid would have been a monster in soccer. He would have been a monster in anything because he's
Center back.
Yeah, he's just a winner. So what's your theory on this soccer thing? Where do you make sure he gets that microphone up to?
I think for the soccer, I mean, in the U.S., obviously, with Messi coming and everything, I mean, there's a bunch of people already trying to take pictures with him, want autographs, and getting his jersey. So I think that's going to spark a lot of time watching, you know.
A generation of kids.
Watching Messi play.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could grow a lot more in Saudi Arabia when you got a bunch of big-time players.
Making crazy fucking
And a
money.
lot more
deals
money.
over there.
It's sort of like what Ruben and Zahid did with wrestling with Mexicans. There was 0 Mexicans wrestling. And then, although they think they're from Saudi Arabia at times, with Zahid as the name, but you guys have done sort of the same thing. But before you leave, Zahid, what's next on the agenda? Where are you going? This guy has traveled the world, Rafa. He's wrestled everywhere. Dagestan, Cuba, he's been everywhere, Papa. So what's next on the schedule?
Right now I have World Championships coming up. I leave
Serbia?
In Serbia. I leave September 6th for Germany for the acclimation camp. Then September 12th to Belgrade, Serbia, where I'll be competing for the World Championships the 17th and 18th.
Do we know seeds yet? Do we have any idea?
No seeds yet, nothing. Just got to go out there and beat every guy in front of me.
All right.
Good luck, brother. We'll be rooting on.
We will
Thank
be rooting for Zahid. Everyone, thank you, Zahid, for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. All right. So I told you, Papa. See, he's a huge soccer guy. He thinks it will never be a thing in the United States. I think it's coming.
I don't think it will be.
I think it's coming.
I don't think it is because I've said it already. If the urban community, the inner cities don't play,
No, say what you fucking said. If
if the black kids don't play, they're not going to be. The U.S. will never be good enough to compete with those countries. We have the best athletes in the world. All right, as far overall, but they don't play that sport.
Yeah.
So if they don't play that sport, there's no money and there's no when some of these kids and you're looking at like football players and basketball players, They don't play baseball because there's not people in baseball.
Yeah.
That there, it's not.
It's
the
very-
promotion is not the same.
Yeah.
You rarely see. You go to an NBA game, you see fucking Rick Ross courtside. You see this rapper courtside, that rapper courtside. There's not that luxury in baseball. Like it's not a thing to sit courtside, or it's not a thing to sit on the
There's
field.
very few black role models in baseball.
But even then, forget inside of baseball. I'm talking about outside.
Okay.
Like when you go and you're watching, all these young rappers and so on, they're going to sit courtside at NBA games.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Well,
so those kids that are growing up and that's what they idolize, whoever it may be, that that NBA is that lifestyle. That's the lifestyle.
It's the way out.
It's the way out
Yeah.
for them. Soccer is not that, right? And for you'd have to have parents that are totally committed to that. And it's hard when you have a kid who's 6'5", 6'6", and can dunk at 7th grade. You think he's gonna want to go and run and do all sorts of drills and this and that? Dude, no. He's dunking at 7th grade. He's gonna be dunking as a senior in high school as well.
Here's my point to this. There's parents like this man to my right, Ruben Valencia. There's parents like me, 5'7" Puerto Rican, was 5'8" 3/4 till my back problems showed up. Okay. That will realize this, that your son is not going to be an NFL running back. I realized that I loved football. I realized, and I put my foot down in 7th grade, said we were stopping football and we were going into wrestling. Why? Because you can't make it into the NFL at 5'7", running a 5'2". There's smart men like this man. I'm not going to call myself smart, but I realized my genius is this. I looked and I saw the sport of wrestling. I said, you could be 5'1", 125 pounds and be the best in the country, get a 4-year scholarship, and make something of yourself. There's smart parents. There's a reason why Disney's a $1 billion company. There's a reason why youth sports is almost $1 trillion, because we all have parent goggles and we think our mijo and mija are the best.
The problem is that with soccer, I think soccer is a lot like baseball. Like you cannot just pick up a glove and a ball and a bat at 12 years old and even compare to the kids who are playing at 12 years old. It's not even close. Not even. You can't do that shit at 8.
In the Dominican, you can.
Are you kidding? They're playing since they're 2. So with basketball, it's different because if a kid hits a growth spurt, he's got to have just a little bit of talent, and if he can dunk the ball, he's getting a scholarship, right?
True.
For a football player, well, if you have a kid who's 6'4" or 5'10" and he's 300 pounds and he can move a little bit, he can play an offensive lineman in high school and probably get a scholarship to some Division II school. You cannot take a kid who's 12 years old, 13 years old, has never touched a soccer ball, a baseball bat, a ball or a glove, and expect him to go out there and compete. I can take a kid who's 12 and 6'1" and take him to the basketball court outside, and I can teach him handful of moves that they will be fine. Soccer is not that.
But here's the thing, though. If AYSO youth soccer in the United States,
is the worst.
It sucks. But everyone that I know, when you have a young 4 or 5 year old, that's the first thing they do. They put their kid in soccer.
And then that's it. It's over. And then it's over. That's it. It's done. Because now they're going to go and play something else. They're going to go and play.
Go try. And that's my.
And they're going to go and try something else.
What is Messi? 5'9"?
Messi had extensions in his legs. They took him to Spain when he was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
These world-class players that you see, those players, the ones that are getting all the millions and millions of dollars,
prodigies.
Those players have been signed since they were 8, 9, 10 years old. Right? You can watch players. I saw a video yesterday, a 9-year-old team, they touched the ball like Barcelona, like the Spain national team, and they're 9. You think that all of a sudden, a kid from let's say from Panorama City, who's now, he was 5'10", and now he hasn't grown anymore. You think you're just going to hand him a soccer ball and go play? It doesn't work like that. Those two sports are way too skilled in and I'm not saying basketball players aren't skilled, but at the end of the day, I think the two hardest sports to play are soccer, and at a high school and at level, it's soccer and baseball. Because in football, besides at Bosco, you go to any other high school besides the ones here, the superstar schools, all the fucking kids make the team.
Yeah.
They don't cut anyone. Okay? They don't cut anyone.
Yeah.
And in basketball, if you're not 5'9" or 5'10" as a freshman, you're not even going to
You
tryouts.
don't pass the eye test.
You're not even going to tryouts. So those other sports are different.
Go ahead, Ruben.
So, well, I agree 100% with the skill set. I was a baseball player myself. And if you're going to play baseball and think, oh, yeah, I'm going to try out my freshman year in high school, and you've never swung a bat.
Yeah, you
put
no
on a
chance.
glove. But here's an interesting thing. You'd think, okay, well, soccer, you don't have any equipment, like a bat.
Right.
But the real soccer players that have been playing like Saeed since they were 2.
Yeah.
And today they asked them at the clinic, when you were young, how many days a week did you train? And he said, I trained 7 days. He said, I trained 7 days a week, 2, 3, 4 times a day. While these soccer kids you're talking about,
Yeah.
they have a ball when they're born, they can walk, they can kick the ball before they can walk.
Of course.
And then they're doing things with their feet that people can't do with their hands. So
Yeah.
this was a revelation to me many years ago when I was courting my wife, and I'd go to Guadalajara and sit in the lobby bar and watch European soccer. So for many years, I changed the channel here in California, and I put on channel 34, and I watched the Mexican soccer guys getting tripped and falling and rolling 10 times.
Not even
and
close.
Yelling, and I'm like, God, this sport sucks. This is like WWE. It's as fake as can be. And that's the perception I had of soccer. Then like I said, I went to Mexico. I spent hours at the lobby bar watching, world-class soccer. These guys, then I started talking to guys that knew soccer. A football quarterback can sling a ball 40, 50, 60 yards as a guy's running and hit him on a dime. All these soccer players, with their foot,
Do it.
they will kick
Yeah.
a 60-yard pass with their foot and
With ease.
right there with ease on a dime.
With ease.
And the guy will catch it with his foot and stop it. Boop. And then proceed the
It's
play.
insane.
That's crazy
So
difficult.
It is
that's why I
crazy.
think, like, if you look at the teams, like, I went to see Barcelona last month, and Barcelona is a kid who's, I think he's 16, 17 years old, and he's playing on Barcelona, the A team, the team, right? One of the top 4 teams in the world, and he's playing on this team, and he's 16, 17 years old. You think a kid from here at 16, 17 years old, you don't have the coaches at all. You don't have the camps. You don't have any of the academies.
Yeah.
You don't have them here. And as much money as you may have, none of those guys from over there are going to come here and coach unless they're bottom tier coaches. None of those guys. That's why the MLS, if you watch it, there's a man who has come here. He's at the tail end of his career, and he was terrible last year. And yes, he won the World Cup. But at the end of the day, he's dominating this league. And he's an old man. He couldn't do that in the French league.
Yeah.
He couldn't do that in their Champions League games. He struggled. And he brought 2 older dudes from Barcelona, and they're dominating all these teams here. This league will never get better. They don't have they can try and keep throwing money at it. None of those guys will come here because it is not it's like going from the major leagues to going to play single A. You're not going to do it. It's like leaving the NFL to play in the XFL or the CFL. They're not doing it. It's not going to happen.
Let's put a bow on this, and I'll give one last point. And this is why I said I think this might be a changing of the guard. You talk about soccer in 2023. Messi comes. Everyone's going to watch him. We should go get tickets if we can, by the way. And then you have Ted Lasso, probably the number one sports comedy.
show, yeah.
We watched it. My wife's watching it. They understand. My son Jacob become a huge Premier League fan. You have Wrexham on Netflix. It's a huge hit. It's finally coming around. And Messi is that I'm hoping it's that little sprinkle that wakes up America and says, this is an amazing sport.
If the parents don't buy into it, then it doesn't matter. And the people that are going to watch these games, most of them are Hispanic. We went to watch Real Madrid and AC Milan at the Rose Bowl. The only people that were there were Hispanics and Europeans.
Not true.
And Middle Eastern.
Not true. There was a ton of white people there.
And, those were probably European. And there might have been 2 black dudes. And they were probably Brazilian. So I don't think it's going to pick up here for a long time.
Rick Flores says, while coming from Catholic school, I never saw any soccer being part of any school. Now they have teams from grades as little as 2nd grade, so it's starting younger and more kids playing club.
Thank you, Ricky.
Those kids that play club, they suck. They suck.
Rafa, that's
dude,
your
I've seen
favorite
it.
word.
I'm telling you, I've seen it.
I know they do.
They're fucking
but
terrible.
you have to start somewhere. So
you have to start somewhere, but it's coaching first. It's coaching. You need a world-class coach to come here and take those academies. Barcelona has an academy here. The Mexican teams have academies here. They've had them here for years, and they've picked up nothing from here. Nothing.
Well, that being said, Rafa, you need to open an academy, Custom Cars Academy, have your own fucking team. Make it happen, Papa. So let's listen. We have Luke here. We're lucky to have Long Beach State dirtbag Luke here, and we told you earlier that we are going to give you a UFC breakdown. UFC segment brought to you by Rusted Royalty. Go check out rustedroyalty.com. Amazing clothing brand. If you're into off-roading, Havasu, that's your thing. It's a lifestyle brand. We thank that company for sponsoring us. Amazing gear, really cool stuff. But let's get into UFC, Papa. And we have a big fight coming up.
Huge card.
In Boston.
Yes.
In Boston. And listen, we should give this dude the bell.
Are you blue chipping something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Give this
Let's
guy. Give this guy.
Now I'm
the bell.
excited.
By the way, Rigo likes your black on black, Eddie.
Rigo, my man. Rigo, you need to come to the show. I already told you already, Papa. So let's get into it. UFC, what is it? 292. 292.
When do they stop doing the numbers? Like at 9.99?
Never.
They're going to keep going.
It's too late.
They've been doing that
Too
since
late?
the first one.
It's too late.
Plus,
It's like
I
a
think
thing.
numbers are easier. Else you'd have to come up with 292 different titles.
Yeah. Battle of the Brawl. Yeah.
Yes.
292
All right,
works.
you're right.
So what do we got on the undercard?
So, I mean, top to bottom from the main event card, awesome. For those of you that are like diehard fans, the prelims are sick as well. We got a lot of former champions in there, a couple like up and comers, or if they win a knockout or a good decision, they're going to be on the next main card. The 2 fights outside of that, obviously the Sugar Sean O'Malley and Aljamain Sterling fight I'm looking forward to the most are the Marlon Vera Pedro Munoz fight.
I knew it.
And
What do you got?
Dude, I love Vera. I love Vera. You can't stand toe-to-toe with him. His power is ridiculous. With that right hand, I mean, he drops fools like no one else's business.
Minus 198.
Yeah, it's a close fight. It's going to be a close fight.
Well, one of them is the number 6 contender.
Yeah.
And the other one's number
So
10 contender.
Vera had a couple bad months. You know, he was supposed to fight. He had to pull out. He had another fight. So his contention kept dropping because that division, everyone else was fighting.
Yeah.
This is one of those where it's like I think the UFC kind of threw him a bone. Like, this is a get-right fight. Puts him back in the conversation of, hey, maybe one more good win, you get your title shot again. However, Pedro Munoz, this guy, I've watched him his last 2 fights. Both times, one was by decision. I believe one was submission. Submission, he got lucky. The decision, though, he won far and away.
Okay.
Vera, though, is going to knock this fool out.
Knock him out.
Knock him
Ring
out.
the fucking
Is
bell.
that a blue chip?
That's a blue chip.
Ring the bell and say it again, Papa.
Vera knocks him out. Second round,
Max.
It's just his
Man.
conditioning is much better. He is one of the best conditioned fighters in that division that I've ever seen in terms of he's similar, like, for people that aren't diehard fans that may know UFC a little bit, like Max Holloway or
Yes.
Nate Diaz. Just keeps getting hit, and it's like
Keeps coming.
the tank just kind of gets a little fuller,
Yeah, yeah.
Like, each hit just kind of helps him out a little bit. That's where Vera is. I think he knows what kind of fight this is, where it's like, I need to win. I want my title shot. I'm right there. Like, a good win here, and then he can have like a little bit lesser of a win his next fight, it's a title shot in that third fight. I think we're looking at Vera fighting for a title in 2024. Probably fights one more time this year before the end of the calendar year. And then we see him in a title fight, main eventing, more than likely against Aljo.
Okay, if you miss this, I'm firing you next week.
This guy used to work for ESPN, does he not? How'd that sounded fucking professional.
You can't work at ESPN.
No, yeah.
I interned at the NFL Network.
Yeah,
It's
that's
hell.
what I thought.
Hell yes. Okay,
So you,
now
have, so you have that Vera fight at under 2.5.
under 2.5.
And minus
That's at-
198.
So the under is plus 240 right now,
Wow.
and then Munoz by KO is plus 750.
Bang,
well,
bang.
he likes Vera.
I love Vera.
Vera by knockout is plus 300.
Wow. And under plus money?
Listen,
Wow.
people are listening, Luke. I already took credit for your Gaethje
Poirier.
and Poirier
Wow.
analysis. So let's move
Tomorrow's
on.
going to be a fun night.
Let's move on.
It's next one.
What do you got?
The women's fight. Oh,
Great fight.
I'm more excited for this fight than I
Great
am the
fight.
actual
Is that
main
a
event.
co?
Yes.
Yeah, co-main event. So
Okay.
co-title.
Yes, it's Shanae Santiago against Rafa's wife. And they're going to go at
Oh
it.
my God, I got the Santiago's all day. No, but it's Zhang. I'm going to butcher this name. Zhuang Wei Li versus Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos, let's start with her. She's the challenger, number 5 ranked in the division. She has fought in the UFC fight nights. So for people that don't know, the octagon for those fights are actually smaller.
Yeah.
So not a lot of room to move around. A lot more hand-to-hand combat. Dude, this chick knocks fools out.
Yes.
I mean, she lays them out. It's every fight I've seen. She had one submission win, and that was because the girl, she was going for the knockout, slipped her, and Lemos just got the hooks in her immediately, put her on the ground, choked her out. It was done quick.
Finito.
Zhuang Li, though, her one loss,
We all,
Sonny and I were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
She just, the one mistake, and obviously UFC, wrestling, all those things, you make a mistake, someone's going to capitalize.
that
like
was
this.
Rose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't make mistakes. I mean, she came out in the
Yes.
next fight to win her title back.
That was a
dominated.
head kick that
Yeah, that was
yes.
the one where
Yeah,
she
that was, yes.
dominated
Minus
her.
325.
Zhuang Li is going to win outright.
Bang,
Decision?
bang.
Decision, though. Because Zhuang Li...
This is a 5-rounder?
This is a 5-rounder.
Wow.
Because Zhuang Li, I don't see, I think she's going to, her whole thing now is she's about legacy. She's like, I want to retire with the belt. She wants to be like Nunez and Amanda Munoz and
Yeah.
all those fighters where it's like, the goal is to retire with the belt. She is one of the few female fighters where I've seen where she's at the top of the mountain, loses at the top of the mountain,
Yeah.
and can come back to the top of the mountain.
Yes, I agree.
So now I think she's going to fight a lot more smarter, where she's going to stay away. The first round, obviously, Lemos's fights more than 50% of the time don't make it out of the first round because of that knockout power.
Yeah.
She's going to stay away from her. I think we're going to see a lot of just like stick and move,
Uh-huh.
try and take her to the ground, put all the body weight on her, do the blob, all those
So
things.
Lemos has no chance, is what you're saying.
If she doesn't knock her out in the first round, it's not looking good for her.
Bang,
So
bang.
0 chance.
0 chance.
What's the over-under on this? 4.5?
3.5.
3.5.
Favoring the under.
Favoring the under. Okay.
I think that's just because a lot of people think Zhuang Li is going to come out a little over-aggressive. I don't think so. I think she's just the smart fight. 'Cause
She's a very technical
when
fighter.
when she came out over-aggressive, she lost her title.
Yes.
When she needed to win her title again, you have to come out over-aggressive. Now I think this is her first title defense as the new champion. We're going to see her take a little bit of a step back. Maybe she gasses up in the third round, but I don't see her looking for those quick knockouts like she's done in the past.
Okay.
It's one of two things. I think it's going to the card. She wins in decision. The only other thing I see, 4th round submission.
I see a
Zhuang Li, by decision is plus 330, and if you just think the fight's gonna go to decision regardless of who wins, it's plus 235.
I see a two nobodies parlay coming together right here, Papa. All right, Luke, keep going, Papa. You're on fire.
This is one of the few fights I feel like in a while where we haven't had this much hype. Like McGregor Diaz, obviously you get those.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler when he entered the UFC. You have these crazy hype fights. This is one of those where I think a lot of people thought Sean O'Malley would be running his mouth, talking a lot of shit. And I watch everything UFC.
Is he scared?
I don't think he's scared. I
No,
think he's
he's not
locked
scared.
in. I think he is locked in. I think when Aljo said to him at the end of when Aljo beat Henry Cejudo in his last title defense, and he calls him, he's like, "You little bitch, like, this should have been your fight. You avoided me."
Yeah.
And Sean was like, "Yeah, I avoided you." Like, and Sean admitted, he's like, "If I didn't have to get to the title through you, that'd be beautiful." Like, he admitted, he's not shying away from it. And Aljo's like, "You've had a year to prepare." He's like, "Yeah, I've had a year to prepare for you."
Yeah, snap my fucking leg in half, guy.
He's like, all these things. He's like, Sean's not being like all defensive. He's like, "Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep." Like, he's doing it how when we saw McGregor fight Diaz the second time. If you remember that press conference, McGregor's dressed just like in the golf tee and like just a pair of khaki pants.
Very focused.
Diaz is running his mouth the whole time because McGregor did it the first time. McGregor's sitting there and, he says, "I'm like in a state of zen. I'm just locked in." And we saw him come in those first 2 rounds. Obviously, it went 5 rounds decision.
Yeah.
I thought Diaz won that fight, but doesn't matter. But in those first 2 rounds, we saw McGregor so locked in. Like, it was a different. Everyone's like, "This isn't McGregor. He's not looking for the knockout. He's looking to tire Diaz out." And then, obviously, things turn around. I think what Aljo said today, a lot of people aren't looking at in the ceremonial weigh-ins. He goes, "First round, TKO. Simple as that." Sonny and I were talking, why? You're the
why
best.
would you say that?
You're arguably the best wrestler in the entire UFC.
Yeah.
Why are you going to look for a first-round knockout? That's Sean's game. Sean tries to knock fools
He's a
out in the
knockout
first round
yes.
all the time. There's no reason, and maybe it's all brilliant ploy by Aljo to get Sean, catch Sean. Maybe he does get him in a knockout or gets him in the ground early, sleeps him early. I think Aljo's a little too confident. I'm taking O'Malley in the decision, 5 rounds. Woo! I see a full 5.
Is O'Malley, what's his record?
16-1, and the 1 is a no contest.
Yes.
But if
So
you
he's
ask,
technically undefeated.
so yeah, if you ask Sean, he says he's undefeated.
I agree, he's undefeated.
His no contest was like, it was a pretty bullshit.
But
call.
his weakness is the ground game.
He's pretty trash on the ground. Yeah.
Yes.
But
So he gets to the ground, it's over.
It's not over. That's the thing. Because Sean's length outmatches Aljo like far in between. It's similar to when Diaz and McGregor fought the first time. And remember, McGregor got on the ground and he's on top of Diaz. And Diaz just uses his length, pulls McGregor, puts McGregor on the ground, gets him in the sleeper, ends the fight in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Where I don't think we're going to see Suga end that fight in a submission in any way. But if he gets on the ground, his jiu-jitsu's gotten a lot better. His wrestling's gotten a lot better. Every fight, he's just gone up. Like, when he fought on the undercard at the McGregor fight, he got the crap kicked out of him, but he was also giving it back. Like, he didn't sit. It was just back and forth. The fight after that, it was a huge wrestling fight. A lot of people thought he should have lost that fight to Peter Yan. I thought he should have, but his wrestling was far and away much better that camp. So he knows he's got the boxing. He knows he has the striking and the kicking and all those things. His ground game is what he's worried about the last 4 fights. Aljo's a ground fighter. He's going to defend the ground. His length is much better than Aljo. I don't think he lets Aljo get that close to him. I like Sugar in 5 rounds, indecision.
It's a bold statement.
What's the money on that, Eddie Money?
Sean by decision is plus 700.
Yeah, I think it's like pretty. Yeah, it's Aljo's the heavy favorite, and that's just because I'm also like a personality guy. So Aljo, when he won the title against Peter Yan, he won because of an illegal strike.
Yeah.
The first guy to ever win a fight win a title because of an illegal fight or strike in the UFC. He's like, I don't deserve this title. I don't want it. But then he's going on Instagram, posting pictures, being like, fuck all you guys. Like, look at me. I'm the champion.
Yeah.
He's been awesome in his title defenses. He fought Yan again because Yan obviously gets his rematch, kicks the crap out of Yan. He fought Cejudo, who was, at the time, a lot of people thought he was the best wrestler in the division. Cejudo was
Olympic gold medalist.
But he's also, at that time,
Pretty
was
good wrestler.
Way down. Like, he was way down at that point.
Yeah.
So I think Aljo defending the title has been fantastic. His last 2 title defenses, though, have been against guys tail end of the career. UFC's like, here, try and win your title back. Like, Cejudo, I think, deserved it. It should have been Sean. I think it was more of a, I don't really care what you're going to say by Sean. I'm going to wait because I want to see if I can get that guy instead of you. I think Sean's going to be really prepared. He's really locked in. And if this fight goes past 2 rounds, odds for Sean shoot through the roof.
So, Luke, do me a favor. Ring that bell and give me your prediction.
All right. Ring the bell first.
Ring the bell
Okay.
first, Papa. Blue Chip is in the house.
Sugar Sean O'Malley in 5 rounds in the decision.
That's big money, Rafa.
That's a bold statement.
The hometown kid in front of his crowd. The crowd hates Aljo. Aljo
it's going to be wild.
Aljo does not look locked in for this fight. Like he's palling around with Joe Rogan all week. He's like, oh, what's up, Dana? Like he's
he's a superstar.
Yeah, he's like pissed at Sean though because he feels Sean's been given everything because Sean came out of that like the Dana White Contender Series.
Right.
And yeah, Sean started his career, definitely got a lot of fights he shouldn't have, but he proved like he won those fights. He won all those fights. So I like Sugar Sean O'Malley, 5 rounds in the decision.
Wow.
You can bookmark it.
Bang, bang.
Eddie Money's already bet it.
He's already on Bovada.
Eddie Money's already bet it. He's fucking firing away at Bovada.
I just got a text. Can I borrow $2,000, Eddie? Yes.
All right. So the predictions are.
Let's go through them.
Go through them again. Marlon
Vera, knockout, second round.
at the most.
At the most. I'm going, I think the over-under you said was 2.5.
2.5. So you like under?
I'm taking the under.
Okay. So under 2.5. Marlon Vera against Munoz and Marlon Vera to win the fight.
Yes.
Okay. And then we have Zhang Weili.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
Look at
Yeah, I
Zhang
think you were
Weili.
pretty good about it.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty
That
fucking
was
good.
actually pretty good.
I'm pretty fucking
That was
good.
pretty good.
I'm pretty fucking good. So we have Zhang Weili minus 325 to win this thing.
In the decision.
In the decision.
Is Zhang Weili
I like that.
Chinese and French?
Zhang Weili, Pepe.
Dude, if you see her,
She's had some French weenie in her.
she's bred for fighting.
Oh, she's
Like,
I thought you were going to say
scary.
she was
Same.
French.
No, she's scary as F.
Yeah,
scary as F.
I think Lemos is going to give her a good couple rounds, but then I think Zhuang
So
Li-
if she gives her a good couple rounds, you don't think she can end the fight before the
she
fifth?
can't because she has no conditioning. She's never been 5 rounds. Zhuang Li's been,
Lemos.
yeah.
Right,
Lemos
so you
can.
don't think the fight will end before the 5th round because because she can't?
No,
she's not
because
gonna,
she won't be able to put her away.
Okay.
And Zhuang Li is going to fight a lot smarter this time is what I'm saying. Where like last time she was winning the fight after 2 in her title defense. She was winning the fight after 2. Rose got like super tired and then she decided like, "Oh, I'm going to go and attack her now." And then she lost.
Yeah.
She lost her title.
and then you have Sugar Sean
In the decision.
in
5
the
rounds.
decision, 5 rounds.
New champion and new.
All right.
Wow.
So there it is, people.
There it is, people.
We'll clip it,
Amazing breakdown, Luke.
smack it.
Amazing breakdown. You've been asset to the show. I will take credit for all your picks again if you're on.
And if they're wrong, they're Rafa's.
Yes. Rafa's used to it.
If you're wrong on any of those, I'm fucking firing you next week.
Listen, that would usually conclude this show, but we do have a special guest. I just want 15 minutes with this man. I appreciate all of you that have been hanging in there. Ruben Valencia and I have been talking about this moment for a while. I just want to, get into his mindset. For those of you that have kids and, we all born with, I like to call parent goggles, right? Parent goggles. Ruben wasn't born with those. I wasn't born with parent goggles. I would love another drink if, and Ruben also needs another drink. Boomtown. Oh shit! I mean, I said I want another drink, but
You got a whole bottle
got
ready.
a whole bottle of fucking tequila. But I could use another drink if we can get Ruben over here with the headphones, and so I need you to be able to really concentrate with this, Ruben. I have just 15 minutes extra time. This is a bonus, and I've wanted to get you two together for a long time because Rafa has a lot of the same qualities that you have. I've wanted to get you guys together, and Rafa's going through this right now where he has a son in high school, and we have a lot of the same philosophies. Give a hand to Luke. What a freaking breakdown! I mean, dude, I asked him to be prepared, and he always delivers.
He brings A game.
Dude,
Notes and everything.
dude. I mean, this dude.
By the way, Luke's gonna have a podcast.
Luke is gonna have a podcast.
Let him know.
Yeah, so plan is still September 1st. Che and I had our first meeting about it. We went over our first script.
Yes.
We have our mock show that we're just going to do for like friends and family this
Yeah.
week. And then September
And
1st, look for
why
that one.
are we not invited to
Well,
this?
we're gonna like stream it out to you guys. Yeah.
So you're not using this. I mean, you're not. I
We-
was hoping
we
to rent
got-
this
we
equipment
got it.
out for $1,000 a day.
We still gotta have a conversation, Eddie.
Yes. Okay. Good. Because you will be under the Two Nobodies umbrella, Papa. This guy is ready to talk politics, Ruben, and he's gonna set the world on fire.
I'm
He's a
excited for that.
Superstar.
He's good. He's young and ready. I can tell.
Yeah. Bosco alum.
Oh wow. No
Yeah.
wonder. A
2020.
lot of specialty coming.
Yes. But thank you, Luke. Again,
Thank you, Luke.
get a
You were
drink,
awesome.
go get some pizza. Don't leave. I will take one of those, Ruben. We will sip on some amazing tequila. I don't even know what that is. What did you bring that, Ruben?
Yeah, I think it's a
Oh,
Mario Lopez Casa Mexico.
Oh,
There we go.
Make sure to tag Mario
You better
Lopez
put
on.
that bottle right here.
His son was at the clinic. Mario called me yesterday.
Yes.
We're looking for a little more privates, and he's into this stuff.
I'll serve Eddie's here if you want. That way we don't have to spill it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mario.
That way we get the bottle in.
Mario Lopez and I, Ruben, at this point. Go ahead, Ruben. Go ahead. Sit down there.
So there's Casa Mexico.
So this is
Casa
Mario.
Mexico. This is Mario Lopez's bottle.
Is it?
Ruben Valencia brought it over.
Yes.
So he's here with us in studio.
Wow.
I would love to try it, but I'm driving.
Yeah. So by the way, Mario Lopez and I were like this. He gave a love emoji on one of my posts. So we're practically best friends, Ruben. So I'm right there with you. I'm shocked he hasn't said this earlier to me.
Ruben,
so
get the mic closer to you.
get the mic closer to you.
Just move the tray over. Move the tray over.
Put the headphones on. So
Do I need to put the headphones on?
yes,
so you can hear us.
That way you know how you sound. Everyone thinks we're just trying to be cool
Really?
with headphones on, but
I
it's
don't know. I
important.
got this hearing thing, but
It-
I'll try it.
It's important because when you're talking over there, you need to hear how clear that you sound. Trust me, this is episode 44.
Eddie's a professional.
We are professionals. So
Okay, I'm gonna go off Luke's notes here. So I can be as good as him.
let me
'cause he
let
was
me give
damn
my
good.
introductions again. Ruben Valencia is here. Bosco wrestling coach, Monster Garage founder, proprietor. If you don't know Monster Garage, and if you're in the wrestling game, I go everywhere. I've been to Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Schenectady, New York, and I go with this man to a tournament, and it's funny. He gets stopped every 5 feet, and they'll shake his hand. They're like, "Oh my God, Ruben!" Blah, blah, blah. We'll walk from our feet. I'm like, "Ruben, who's like?" I have no idea who that was.
Mario Lopez, who?
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, like I said, not only a youth coach, but I mean, this guy, if I won the lottery, I would have USC start a program. He'd be my first choice to run USC wrestling. And it's someone that I've wanted to talk on this podcast for a while, just because he has knowledge and he's a philosopher of not only wrestling but life. And I think you would agree, Ruben, that wrestling is an analogy of life, and you tell me all the time.
I always
about
do. I believe
Yeah.
it's everything in life.
Yeah.
If you compare it to wrestling and the struggles and the highs and the lows and the challenges,
It's funny. So my mom never comes out for the show,
And she's sitting right here.
Ruben's here. She got a front row seat, and we talked about this, Mom. We talked about how Stanford is they're making a big mistake by not valuing the sports programs. At one point in the Olympics last year, like Stanford, the university, was like 12th in medals. If you took them into the whole world, I mean, when you talk about A-type personalities, which you've had under Aaron Pico, Zahid Valencia, Kate Levis, many others, Nico, they're not valuing how some athletes and students, they just want to excel in everything. And if Stanford takes away this program and sports, they're missing out, because sports brings out, it teaches you how to persevere. It teaches you how to engage with other people. We talked about Caltech. Caltech has the smartest human beings on the planet, but they don't have sports. That campus is full with a bunch of, what's the word I'm looking for? socially inadequate.
I was to say dorks. Okay.
It could be that. It could be that. But even Elon Musk knows how to engage with people, and I think that's what sports does. It helps you learn how to deal with people, with leadership, with bad leadership. It gives you all those things. And when we brought our son to Ruben, he taught him all that stuff. So what's your philosophy? Let's go with that. What's your philosophy about wrestling and youth sports?
Yeah, I'd love to share with everybody that's listening what I feel about this. And you're asking me a question that we've talked about for hours and hours, but I'd love to share it with everybody else. I believe if everybody put their child in wrestling, you'd be doing them, a great service, greater than even sending them to Stanford. Jokingly said, possibly, but it just develops everything. Wrestling's for life, and sometimes literally, you might be out in the streets, you might not be in the nicer parts of the town, and it'll save you physically, but more so. Wrestling does something to your mind, to your heart, to your soul, and it allows you to do incredible things.
Yeah.
Not just win a wrestling match. I have a friend, Rudy Garcia, who was a baseball player. He chose to wrestle, became a pretty decent wrestler, like second, third in high school, I think first or second in junior college. He's making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Range Rover, beautiful house, beautiful wife, and he attributes it to wrestling. He says, Ruben, I'm in the field where I'm in sales and people are competing. They give incentives.
Yeah.
And every quarter, Hawaii for two, 100,000, whatever. He says, I win them every quarter. And he says, the people tell me, oh, this is not fair. I can't compete with you. You work so hard. He says, this isn't even half as hard, as difficult as wrestling was for me, and this is what's made me the man I am today.
Yeah.
And this is for life. I mean,
so Rafa, if you have any questions, feel free to hammer, but my next thing is the value of a young child, 5 to 9 years old, to get on that mat, toe the line, and put your hands on someone. Put your hands on someone and not be afraid to engage. It gives you a different confidence.
So you said maybe step 3, put your hands on someone. How about walk out in the middle of a mat in a singlet.
And he's done it in a leotard for sure. He still wears it tonight.
I always say I look like a chorizo ready to burst in my singlet.
And you walk out there, there's 10 people or 10,000 people watching, and when you walk on that mat in the center, and there's a chance it's one-on-one, so you can't blame your
quarterback
or your quarterback
left
or your
guard
wide receiver. Yeah, so it's you. When you win, it's you. When you lose, it's you. Everyone's watching, only you and your opponent. That takes courage in itself.
100%.
So as a 5-year-old, you're telling your 5-year-old, not only telling them, but you're educating them, and you're giving him grit. You're implementing grit, character, and I like the word grit right now because and really all related to wrestling and your question. I think Harvard had a study, and what was the same element that a successful 5-year-old to a successful adult in whatever it is, whether it's $1 billion or you're just a successful, great person, is grit. And so what does this sport do? You're putting a 5-year-old on the mat. Walk out there, buddy. You're possibly going to get your ass kicked. Embarrassed on your back, and some might laugh. You're going to look up, and you just got your ass kicked, and we all watched.
Yeah.
That takes some courage.
Yeah,
and you're showing, and how do you achieve greatness? With what comes first before greatness? Failure.
Yes. 100%.
And you're putting your son. I love you so much. I'm gonna have you fail, buddy.
have you fail.
And so that's what. Yeah, I mean the strikeout could be the same, but you'll just say the umpire called a strike on the outside.
Right.
corner.
It was low.
Another Dodger excuse. Another reason.
Zing!
I've seen that a billionaire. I've seen this clip with a billionaire saying, "What I did with my kids is I put them out there and made them fail every day. I made them go out for something they could. He made them go out and fail."
Yeah, I love those stories, and I wish I would have, practiced them more with my children. Another story, I know we're talking wrestling. Another story that I just recently heard is a daughter, an older successful daughter. They asked her how she did it. She said, "I get home every day, and my dad would ask, 'What'd you do? How'd it go? How'd it go at school?'"
That's the exact story I was talking about.
How many failures? Dad, I went up there. They said, "Can you come up here and do the speech on this class?" I raised my hand. I went up there, and I failed horrifically. It was so embarrassing.
That's the clip I was talking about.
They cheered. All right, keep failing, man, because now next time you're gonna
You're gonna be better.
Yeah.
You're gonna be better.
It's the same thing with sales. Like with sales, which is the most lucrative profession in the world. Boomer,
Another chela.
get this guy a beer. Sales are the most successful business or profession in the world. It's sales. Correct. And I Boomer's right here, and it's the same thing with courting a female. If you're okay with the no's and the failures, it's the odds are,
thank you,
9 out of 10 or 2 out of 8 you're gonna fail, but you don't care. Because the no's don't mean anything anymore. The failures don't mean it. They're like I heard something like it's.
Did you say 2? Man, that you were low percentage, Eddie. Really?
2 out of 8. I mean, I'm 2 out of 10.
Oh, for
Boomer, that's
Boomer's different.
Boomer's percentage.
Boomer's good.
Yeah, it's because Boomer shoots 10 shots out there, and he just wants half of one.
I went to go buy carne asada with Boomer at Stater Brothers. There's this lady. Yeah, just a ton of things. He's like, I went up to her and asked her, and she said no. And I'm like, dude, how do you do that? He's like, because I don't care. Because you know why? In 8 more tries, some girl's going to say, yes, let's go out and...
I've seen it.
Yes, I've seen it 100 times.
We've gone to the snack bar at wrestling tournaments, and he says, "Coach, you see that hot mom giving the..." Yeah, I got her number.
Yep. Yeah, it's the percentages.
Yeah, hey, wrestling did that for him. Gave
sure
him grit
did.
and determination.
It sure did.
And all that.
Sure did. So next thing, you're infamous or famous in the wrestling world for having now 3 of the most successful wrestlers out of California in the nation, 2 world team members, 1 at Arizona State. And what people don't understand all the time is that Ruben doesn't accept mediocrity. Even when people don't expect much, he always sets a standard this high. He changed Sonny's life. He took him out in the 7th grade, took him out to lunch, and he's done this with many people, but I'll give this one story. Sonny was a good wrestler. He was a 7th grade state champion, whatever, and we took him to Ruben, and Ruben bought him a ledger and said, Sonny, let's go over the goals. This and this and this. And Sonny was like, I want to win CIF freshman year, this and that. And Ruben's like, you're thinking about this all wrong. And the famous story is with Figueroa. And he came back home. And the next thing I know, Sonny didn't tell me anything about it, but the next thing I know, I look on the ceiling and it says #1 in the nation. And I never, for my thing, I came from nothing. If I did anything remotely good, my parents give me a pat on the back and great job. Ruben sets the standard higher and put in Sonny's mind that I could be #1 in the nation. And it took longer than we thought, but Sonny, junior year, achieved #1 in the nation. And that 100% would not have happened if Ruben didn't plant that seed in his head. So my question to you is, are we not setting the standards for our young youth high enough? What do you think is the factor to where champions become champions, and how did it start? Is it born in you? Is it bred in you? Is it taught? Is it learned? What's your opinion on that?
Well, definitely don't think it's born. I think you could be born with some specialties, but then if you don't utilize them, you're not going to be a champion.
Right.
Yeah.
And I for sure know that you could be born with very little abilities and become a champion.
You don't have to
Shanae's not here?
No, she would punch you in the face.
Yeah.
She's definitely hearing it, and she knows what you're talking about.
So, look, she's probably in the living room looking over
Yeah,
here saying,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah, don't do
you
it.
don't get any Rocky Road ice cream.
Don't
that you
do
brought."
it. Don't do it.
So, no, definitely with my experience, you develop it. You develop it different ways. I've learned myself and I've grown. You talk about me helping Sonny and helping him develop and get to where he's at. We've also shared many times how I've grown. And one of my biggest challenges to date was Sonny. And I'm a way better man, way better coach, way better person because of him. And because he gave me so many challenges. And because I'm a competitor and I wasn't going to quit on him. And his parents would have been okay if I quit on him. They would have said, that I wouldn't have done that. I mean, God,
I had text
thanks
Ruben
for-
like, maybe Sonny's not that guy. Maybe we're not for you, Ruben. Like,
Yeah.
maybe this isn't
You felt
it.
bad.
And we both persevered. I think we all persevered. I think Sonny, deep inside, never quit. And the one big element, I'm going to say, that was a disciplinarian with my kids to the point where people on the outside thought, oh, gosh, he's going to burn them out. You know, he's an ogre. But the reason it worked for me, because my boys know that I love them more than anything else in this world. So I can kick their ass and
expect the best and not
and they know, damn, Dad loves us. I know he doesn't hate us.
Yeah.
But he's telling us things that, damn, sure sounds like he hates us more than
Yeah.
anybody else
Yeah.
in this world. And Sonny and the Santiagos knew, man, this man loves my son. But gosh, why does he call him a sissy sometimes and tell him
So
start working? If
Man, I
wasn't-
thought I was the only coach like that. Fuck.
it wasn't sissy, Rafa.
Oh, no,
it
me
wasn't
neither.
sissy.
Me neither.
shoot.
No,
I
no,
mean,
Rafa has a lot of those qualities. That's why I wanted to get you guys together.
So yeah. No, so I mean, it worked because of that, and we were diligent and such a village to make it happen.
Yeah.
Friends like some of these guys that helped out,
Eddie
and
Money.
and then. In the back scene, Cecilia was such a big supporter of mine. I'm not saying she never got mad. A couple times I told
all
Eddie,
got- yeah.
hey, I think I pissed off Cecilia. I told her, well, if Sonny would get to work, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
well, he had homework till, and I said,
Oh,
ooh.
yeah.
Oh,
I'll
the
back up.
defending grandmother.
Yes, I wouldn't
All
go
right,
to
I
practices.
crossed
My
the
mom would
line.
go to practices.
I crossed the
I
line
stopped
there,
going to
but-
practices because I was too pissed off.
But Cecilia backed me up, and the situation, the team, I don't mean just Sonny, she supported Bosco and Ruben Valencia separately.
Yeah.
It wasn't just supporting the high school wrestling team. She supported that. And then she supported me greatly. And she does it till this day.
Yeah.
Both. Team sometimes, Ruben
Yeah.
more. And I appreciate it and grateful
Yes.
still now.
I'll tell you one thing. We've had Logan Loya. We've had Jameson Wong with an A, and I've interviewed him extensively. And the one thing they've said is that my parents were the driver behind this bus. My dad was my coach. With Logan, the same thing. Like, there's people that roll out of bed are great, but you have to have a support system, and you have to have a belief system that you're going to get this kid. I mean, I know his kid does extras. I always tell him, extras, Rafa, extras. That's what's going to get your kid to the next level. And Ruben was all about extra. The practice, like when he says train 2-3 times a week or a day, 2-3 times a week. What a joke.
What a
2-3
loser.
Yeah. It's 3 times a day. It's 3 times a day. And Ruben had taught me this, and funny thing, because he knows this, we put our kids through extensive training, and they miss stuff. And family told us, what are you doing? What are you doing this? What are you doing that? And then when my kids reached a certain level, they all loved them. They all praised them. They all said, what a great job, Eddie. I'm like, wait, if you guys told me I was a maniac for years. You guys told me I was burning my kids out. So we've talked about this in baseball. Barry Zito. It happens in basketball. It happens in
happens in
football.
everything.
It happens in everything. So for those, the reason I wanted to talk about it, because a lot of people in youth sports think, I don't want to burn them out. I don't want to do this. If you want your kids to be great, you have to be the force behind it. It's very rare when they just roll out of bed and become great.
Absolutely. I mean, 80% of millionaires were made by difficult times as they were growing up. Yeah. It's the millionaires that have children that blow all the money as they inherit that. But 80% of millionaires are self-made. They don't inherit that.
We might be looking at one right to my. This guy, his story of success is amazing. No, I know he'll be very modest, but this guy was driving Uber not too long ago. He's one of the hardest. You're the hardest working man I've ever met in my life. This guy's the second hardest man I've ever met in my life. And I love to surround myself with people like this. I'm friends with him for a reason. He has raised my value. He has shown me. This guy has drove here 44 effing weeks in a row from Castaic and never said, I'm getting tired. Never once has he said, I'm getting tired of this drive, Eddie. On a Friday, mind you. On a Friday. So he has shown me a value. You have shown me value. And I just want to show you, both you guys, appreciation, because hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Thank you, Eddie Money. Thank you, Eddie Money.
Yeah, it's rare cases. Like, there's one rare case that I kind of know, and well, he's a professional, actually. Michael Thompson has always said that with Clay and Trace Thompson, that he never, for example, they played basketball during basketball season. They played baseball during baseball season. They played, I think, volleyball as well.
Yeah.
He never forced that, but that's a rare
Very
talent,
rare.
right, that those kids had, obviously.
I talk about Rich Dice. He was roll out of bed, great. But
right,
then...
but there's the other kids that, hey, it's got to be 24/7, 365.
The majority.
The majority of them, 100%.
And I always like to say, then there's the Hall of Famers that are extremely talented. Jerry Rice, that roll out of bed, work harder than everybody else, and that's how you become the greatest. When you have talent and then work harder than everybody else, that's when you become
Kobe
the greatest.
Bryant. I mean, even though, I don't know if he's the greatest of all time, but
work ethic beyond
ridiculous.
anyone's imagination.
And I'm not a big Kobe fan. I don't dislike him.
We're both not Kobe
I'm not
fans.
a big Kobe fan, but still, you got to recognize the fact.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Yes.
He worked his ass off. We talk about that. My sons were number one in the country, and by the time they were juniors, I think they both would have won NCAA championships, junior and high school. I know they would have.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my sons beat
Tyler Caldwell.
one of my sons beat the NCAA champ 4 months prior. Tech them. I don't know how far this gets out on social media, but anyways,
all the way out.
We're gonna post it.
Not trying to hurt,
all the way out.
Not trying to hurt people's feelings, but
It happened.
but
we're not lying.
The work ethic, good. It's true. I'm not lying. So work ethic. My boys did 4:30 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. 4:30 a.m. We started. We didn't get up at 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, we
got
started.
up at 3:30 a.m. We were at Bosco at 4:30 a.m. and we worked till 7, 3 days a week. That's just the start of those 3 days, and then in the evenings we were doing the extra.
And then he doesn't talk about he had a shake ready for them, made him drink, so he's up earlier. So
I was up early because I had a shower, get their food ready and their shakes, because once I left them at school, I went to work.
Yeah.
So you know, a lot of things going on there. I had a dad that says, "Gosh, my boys are like yours. They're obedient, willing to do whatever I tell them to do. I'm just not willing to do what you do. I want to watch. I want to watch some. I want to watch the Dodgers lose to the Reds and the Raiders lose on Sunday with a beer. And you want to train your boys, you know.
I mean, he does this all the time. I invite him to barbecues. Saturday, this guy works 7 days a week. I tell him I had a barbecue this week. I'm like, dude, can you? He's like, no, you know, Eddie, I'm working. He's disciplined at his craft, and that's why he's successful. So that's the point I was trying to get across. Mario Lopez, I think he has that. Dude, hard worker.
Crazy. His son was there. What I admire about him is he's not a deadbeat dad.
Oh.
He's making sure his son was at the camp. He's there today. He's going to be there tomorrow. He has his right hand man filling in. And Mario still does it himself. He comes to the room. He brings them in there. You know, he has a hard time getting from the parking lot to the room without 10 moms saying, "There's Mario."
Eddie Money's over there. Mario, I'm the one who sends you the stuff on Instagram.
He's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
No, but it's
you.
true.
No, so,
He's falling over all 6'4" noodle.
I mean, he takes the time. He called me yesterday. He said, "Ruben, you know, my son. What does he need? How can we get some privates?"
Yeah.
The problem with me is my gaps are.
That's why when he got here, I'm like, I'm not even gonna ask him. I'm putting him on the mic because I know he didn't want to do this, but it's very far and few between that he could actually sit down and have this conversation with us. And
I'd be practicing right now. I really would.
Oh.
But since Saeed's having this camp, I want to. I cut practice because I want to hang out with my son.
Right.
You know? And,
Yeah.
And instead, I'm hanging out with Eddie and Rafa.
listen,
We appreciate it.
You know, I saw Mario Lopez just this week. He made a post on how he goes to church every Sunday, and he gave 5 reasons why it's important. And this dude's schedule is unbelievable. And his work, I'm assuming because Mario was a good wrestler. I don't know if he's a great wrestler, but he understands the value of wrestling. I'm pumped that he's a part of the community. I'm pumped that I'm drinking some of his tequila, which is very good, by the way. If Rafa, can you pour me another one?
Of course,
of those?
100%.
What is this called again?
I sure hope that's his. I mean, if not, let's
it's
do
not
this.
LeBron's.
Let's do this. If it's not, I'm going to make sure with him.
We'll do
next week. We'll put.
Listen,
the real stuff.
Eddie Money's really good at editing. We can do some.
I'll put whatever his bottle is. Where it's supposed to be.
Is it check if it's Mario Lopez?
Yeah.
You got it on the computer.
I mean, think about it. I mean, Mark Wahlberg, who's another insane hard worker, man. This guy's drive, he's inspiring. I watch him work out. I'm like, good for you, Papa. Maybe I'll lose some weight watching you fucking work out.
It is his.
It is his. Okay, great. What is it called again, Eddie Money?
Casa
Casa
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yes,
All right.
we're drinking this, and he's a proud soccer fan.
Him and Oscar De La Hoya.
Wow.
I think Adrian Gonzalez might be involved there as well.
Really?
I'm not sure, but I've seen them together.
Yeah.
I follow Mario. I'm a fan. I'd stop him in the parking lot. 100%.
When you go to the parking lot of Bosco, you never know who you're gonna see. Scottie Pippen, Nick Saban, Mario Lopez. Bosco's parking lot is kind of, Lou could tell you, it's pretty freaking crazy, man. So, Ruben, I just want to go over really quick. I know that you have Monster Garage. Ruben and I went to a tournament in Gilmore, and
Gilmore.
Gilroy. And it's not going to shock you. Like you, a lot of people hate on you. A ton of people hate on this man right here.
They're not hating. You're not
Yeah.
doing it.
Of course not.
Robert Salas said, if you don't have haters, you're not popping. I love that he said that. If you don't have haters, you're not popping. So Ruben in the community has a lot of, you guys do this, you guys do that. Same thing with you. Successful people have haters. But my point of this was that Ruben took me, we were at this bar, and a lot of guys came down, and they're like, they started to get to know Ruben. And Ruben will tell you this. The quote is this: Eddie, I'm an asshole. And it's 100%. But the one thing I'm not is a liar. And I've always, learned from Ruben. And he will tell everyone that I am who I am. I'm going to tell you what I feel, and he will tell you right between the eyes what I've had a million times. I didn't want to hear what Ruben had to tell me, but he's going to tell me. And I might hate him for 5 minutes, but this particular trip to Gilroy, we had a bunch of his haters, and Ruben said, listen, guys, sit down. You guys think I'm this? And he wrote down a literal blueprint of how he gets the best, how he's going to be number one in the country across the United States, not one kid, but the whole program. And he had numbers. If I have 48 kids at 5 years old, 6 of them will do this, 3 of them will do that, and 2 of them will do. It blew me away, and it blew away everyone. So your success is 100% by plan, and you've done it with your children, and you've done it, and you've proven everybody. What I want to know is like, when did the success or the blueprint come to mind? Like, when did you figure this whole thing out? Because I know you have a ton of studs young, and you're building them all.
Yeah, right now I have more than ever. But yeah, definitely. It's funny. I always say this didn't happen by accident. It was premeditated.
Yeah.
I premeditated this, and starting with my children. When it started, my cousin Pete was a wrestler. I followed his career. I was a semi-pro baseball player. I start wrestling with him. I start learning it. I love it. I'm young. I wrestle as coaches, and I'm going like 50-50 with some of their coaches. I'm young, and I fall in love with this. Hey, when we have kids, let's get them in wrestling. He got his son in wrestling. I got my sons in wrestling. When we started driving the practices, I always had a book for them, and I'd buy 2. I wouldn't buy 1. I'd buy 2, the same book.
Yeah.
And they'd both read it. And we'd drive to practice, and this is when it was implemented. It kind of was born.
Yeah.
And I tell them, we're going to get 4.0s. We're going to have 4 state championships. We're going to win 4 Ironmans. And
4 Fargos.
And we're going to be able to go with a full scholarship to whatever university in the country.
Said it.
And
crazy talk.
We had
crazy fucking talk.
We ended up with 3.
Yeah.
They were both number 1 in the country freshman year. Saeed is the first freshman to be A6 first team All-American.
Yeah.
And the following year, Kate Olivas becomes the first freshman All-American, second, under Monster Garage.
Yeah.
And the following year, Kate Olivas becomes the 3rd freshman.
Pico.
First team. I thought I said Pico.
You said Cade the first time.
Okay. So it was Pico, then Cade.
Then Cade.
So after 40 years of A6 first team wrestling, posters, which was the most credible in the country.
Yeah.
Saeed wins it. Pico, Cade, and some people still said, he's lucky.
There must be this crazy pool of talent in Pico Rivera.
Out of one garage.
It's called Monster Garage. And people be like, what's this thing with Pico Rivera? There must be just a talent pool in Pico Rivera. No, it's a man's vision. It's a will.
That is awesome.
So that's been interesting for years. And once in a while, you still get an ignorant person trickling in and said, he's never wrestled. He doesn't know. It's like, geez. Okay.
So, that's what you hear. We hear it all the fucking time. So, Ruben, man, we're whatever. We're 3 hours in. I appreciate you being here, man. What do you want to end? Let's end on this. What's the vision for Monster Garage? I've never talked to you about like the end goal. Like, what is the end goal? What keeps you going, and when is the retirement, man?
Yeah, so there's no such thing as retirement. That's a good question, though. Definitely no such thing as retirement. The Monster Garage goal is I continue to develop. I'm a national developmental coach.
Yeah.
Incredibly blessed. The luckiest man and the most blessed person in the world is me.
Shanae would think you're the number 2.
Yeah. You know, we have Art Martori, Kim, that help make my dreams come true.
Yeah.
They sponsor me so I can help develop kids and give them opportunities. And I'm a broker because they're allowing me to do this. Many years ago, 10 years plus, Eddie knows I wanted to win and win only, and that was my only concern.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in legacy, or maybe I didn't understand it. I'm not going to leave $1 million legacy or $100 million legacy. But now it's changed. My number one thing is get kids to college, get them an education, whatever college it is, NAIA, you know, Division II. Of course, NCAA Division I is the primary, and I think I send more kids there than the others.
Yes. Than any other school in California.
Yeah. Yeah, just a lot of interesting things with that. Gosh, I'm just reluctant to say. You know, we had more All-Americans at Fargo with one old fat guy from Pico Rivera, where other guys have, you know, I mean, tonight there's 2 nobodies with a mic and a fat old guy that is a wrestling coach.
So there's
From
2,
Pico Rivera.
3 fat guys.
There's 3 fat guys.
One
Three
fat old guy.
That's
He's-
2 middle-aged
He's
fat
younger.
dudes.
He's younger.
That's the prerequisite if
But-
you're going to be on this show.
But the camera adds 150 pounds, so
Yeah,
we're
for
actually
sure.
a lot
For
smaller
sure.
than Yeah.
So, yeah, just blessed. Now that's my number one goal, to get these guys. But I always say, let there be no mistake. I still want to win.
Oh,
And
100%.
I want to win.
Yes,
and I'm
yeah.
going to build them to win. And what are we trying to achieve with Monster Garage is education, victories, development, you know, great young men and women of character. Last week I was in Colorado. We have 2 Pan American champions. We'll be in Panama November 4th. Epinesa Illison. Isai Fernandez.
Yeah.
Incredible. And yeah, we're continuing to build.
That's it. My grandkids are going to be in wrestling.
I told this Papa right here. So thank you to everyone. Episode 44. We didn't know we are going to have this extra segment. We are blessed.
Thank you, Ruben.
blessed to have Ruben Valencia, Zahid Valencia here. Like I said, although Rafa is younger than me, he's been a mentor to me, but my biggest mentor has been this man to my left. His friendship is invaluable. The words that he was at a practice one and said, "Breathe like a champion," and like it like hit me like a fucking bat. Like, what did he just say? He told my son, but it made sense. Like, well, a champion doesn't breathe like that. Breathe like a fucking champion. I'm gonna get that tattooed.
Not like a donkey.
Not like a donkey. Yes. So thanks again. Episode 44.
And it off. Uncle Zero was also said he believes all sports and individual. He believes that all sports, individual and team sports, teach what Ruben is preaching. Ultimately, a good coach uses sports to teach life, to teach the experiences, using sports as a platform.
And Uncle Zero has been a coach, defensive coordinator for high school. Uncle Zero's one of my best friends. Uncle Zero, you're the best. Thank you for supporting the show. Rafa.
Thank you, guys.
Luke, any last words, Luke?
Can't wait to keep my record perfect after
Yes.
Love it.
Big UFC
Confidence.
fight tonight.
Confidence. Hey,
Tomorrow
I
night.
love Go Dolphins.
He's a
love
Finn.
That,
He's a
baby.
Dolphin fan?
I've been spotting that for a
Oh,
while.
man.
Yes.
Wanted to throw that in before this was over.
Yes,
for
Dolphin
sure.
fan. Yeah.
You're all over the map. You're like my brother.
He's a Celtics fan,
Are
too.
you?
Celtics.
He's Fred.
Hater.
Nebraska.
Hater.
Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Yes.
Oh my God! You're like my brother. My
Yeah.
brother's a Ravens, Cardinals,
So
all sorts of fucking shit. Bucks.
So ask me why I got into sports when I was 7 years old. My dad watched sports. I got into sports 1972, Big Red Machine, Bob Greasy, the only undefeated football team in history.
Till this
Till
day.
this day.
I don't think that'll ever change.
Miami
Yeah.
Dolphins, the Celtics,
Yeah.
Nebraska Cornhuskers, Johnny Rogers.
You're born a
Heisman,
fucking winner.
you know?
Imagine being in the heyday, being a Celtics fan. True contrarian right here.
I like it.
Contrarian
I
winner.
fucking
I
love
knew
it.
you guys would love each other.
I love it.
I want to say thank you to all our sponsors, Julio's Pizza, CustomCars.com, Rusted Royalty. Thank you guys for hanging in with us for this extra segment. We couldn't pass on this opportunity. We love you. Episode 45. Listen, we're going to hit 100,000 followers by next show, Papa.
If we have it next show, I want the fucking 100K balloons.
100K
Right behind me. Right behind me.
Listen, everyone asks me, like, what do you expect? I don't know. I'm like Ruben Valencia. I want to be #1 in the world podcast. I want to be you know why? Because Ruben Valencia is my mentor and my coach. Why not be the best podcast in the world?
We can do it.
We can do it.
Self-funded.
Play that funky music, Papa. That's why
Thank you, Ruben.
That's
That
why
was
you need the
awesome, man.
headphones on.